first. Deuce Spann back deep to receive. The kickoff from Nick Keller for Louisville. And we are underway in Pittsburgh. Blue Hicks, a Louisville transfer, gets an early touch and chopped down near the 10. Now the start of conference play is here. Injuries are a factor for more. Taylor Davis will tell you about it.
Yeah, Roy, specifically at the running back position. For Pitt, Desmond Reed is ruled out for today, dealing with a lower body injury. Look for Goff, Turner, and Williams to all get touches. Now for Louisville, Isaac Brown and Duke Watson are available in limited capacities. Keywan Brown is ruled out. Head coach Jeff Brom told me ahead of this game, Isaac Brown and Duke Watson, both dealing with lower leg injuries, were limited all week, but the two combined for 162 yards against Pitt last year. He needs contributions from them today.
Yeah, you think about Isaac Brown, the ACC Rookie of the Year a season ago for Louisville. And Ja'Kirian Turner on the field along with Juelz Goff, and a gain of 7. So Goff, the redshirt freshman from York, PA, quality pickup on first down without Des Reed, and that is something we will track throughout the afternoon. Lone loss for the Panthers coming in the backyard brawl, as Sam indicated moments ago, 2 weeks ago. Holstein picks up the first, and Sam, we want to see, if you're a Pitt fan and Pat Narduzzi, Holstein on the ground.
Correct. You talked about tracking some of the running backs. We'll track Eli Holstein, not just as a passer, but also as a runner. We love to see him using his legs. That's what makes him different than other quarterbacks in this league.
12-yard gain. Swing pass. And Goff out of the backfield. A nifty move close to the 40. Juelz Goff, 7-yard gain.
And as much as Cade Bell wants to be in this fast tempo hurry up, Louisville has shown that, number one, they do play a lot of base defense, which is 3 down linemen and 2 outside linebackers. So if they're in base, you might see hurry up more often to keep those base and big people on the field so they can pass it.
And second-year offensive coordinator Cade Bell coming in from Western Carolina to the tight end Justin Holmes. 5th catch of the season for Holmes, and that'll move the chains. TJ Capers ushered him out of bounds after a pickup of 6.
And you're seeing that muddle huddle, Roy. You're seeing Pitt's not going overly fast per se, but they're not substituting. That keeps this base personnel on the football field for Louisville.
Cards undefeated. That win over James Madison was a little closer than Jeff Brom would have expected. Victories over Bowling Green and EKU. Right on target. Here's Kenny Johnson. And Johnson weaving his way towards midfield. Another gain of 7. So chunks of yards on first down so far for the Panthers.
Correct. And I think that early quarterback draw kind of slowed down the Louisville defense. You're thinking quarterback draw on 3rd down or later on in the game, but the second play of the game, QB draw, it changes your mindset as a pass rusher when it comes to your pass rush lanes.
Easy for you to say from midfield. Holstein with time, the pump fake, the hesitation, the delivery, and the catch at the 15 by Johnson. Pittsburgh into the red zone for the first time, a gain of 34.
Yeah, that's elite level concentration by Kenny Johnson. You're going to see a pressure by Cleve Lubin on the inside, but look at the concentration. That's a perfectly placed ball on the outside shoulder of an inside receiver.
Fast start for the home team. Cardinals defensively in the top 10 in America in sacks per game, just as Pitt is. 4 straight completions, all for big yardage for Eli Holstein. And Goff weaving his way through traffic, stopped by JoJo Evans. He'll be brought down near the 12.
Yeah, I love the tempo by Pitt. Notice we talked about it. It's not overly fast, but they're getting up to the huddle and they're controlling the pace of the game. It keeps the defense on their toes.
Poppy Williams went in motion. Holstein looking that direction, batted down. At the tight end of the flats, it was Cleve Lubin. Coastal Carolina transfer. Sam, you've been impressed watching him on film.
Oh, he's a dog on the football field when it comes to rushing the quarterback, when it comes to playing the run, when it comes to ball get off. Cleve Lubin has it all. And now you're going to see a pass breakup. Cleve Lubin is a football player. You know he has a pass rush plan, but more than that, he loves to play the run as well. So number 50 on defense is a name you need to know. Cleve Lubin for Louisville.
I just wrote it down. The first 3rd down of the game for Pitt on this opening possession. We'll check with the sideline. Holstein, his offensive coordinator Cade Bell. What a combination that has been now in its 2nd season. And a timeout's going to be called. A little confusion.
Timeout. Pitt, their first.
Justin
30
Elliott,
seconds.
leading our ACC officiating crew today. It's already an incredible weekend for the conference, given what happened late last night in double overtime. Virginia upsetting top 10 Florida State at home, and an incredible scene up at Scott Stadium.
It was amazing. And we had a Virginia game earlier this season, a game in which they lost, in which we think they should have won. Interception thrown by Chandler Morris in the end zone. But man, this ACC league, it's gotten a lot more level this season. Miami's playing a lot better, Florida State's playing better, Clemson's down. So there's opportunities for teams like Pitt and Louisville to be more competitive when it comes to championships.
Let's take a look at the Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? Packing the end zone earlier this morning. Jalen Williams on the field for the first time for the Panthers. Facing their first third down, 9th play of the drive. Holstein looking, surveying, through the progressions and dropped. And it could have been a touchdown for Malachi Thomas. He had a path towards the goal line, and he just dropped it on the low delivery from Holstein.
And he was so wide open, Malachi Thomas was. And that's because the inside linebacker, number 9, he gets picked. He's trying to go, but he gets lost in coverage. But you're going to see the eyes of Thomas. They look up instead of look in the football, and that's why he dropped an easy walk-in touchdown.
Trey Bukowski, Pittsburgh kicker, 6 for 7 this season. This attempt from just inside that right hash from 30 yards. And the Panthers on the board first. Should have been 7. They'll take the 3. 11:34 remaining here in our first quarter in the Steel City. Here in Pittsburgh, PA, you're watching the ACC on ESPN. A little brunch, a little football, some tailgating. Sam, what a time to be alive here in Pittsburgh.
That's amazing. You get a chance to be in an atmosphere like this, the Pitt Stadium, but also the Steelers football stadium. This is an unbelievable atmosphere. Great fans, great atmosphere.
Pancakes and football. What more could you ask for? Panthers go right down the field without Des Reed on the opening possession. A drop at Malachi Thomas, who's been battling a bit of a hamstring the last couple of weeks. Could have been 7 instead. Pitt settles for the 3, and now Louisville and Miller Moss set to receive the football for the first time. Sam Carpenter kicks it deep to Colin Lacey, the ever-explosive returner for the Cards. It's over his head. And here comes Miller Moss, Sam, the transfer from SC. 10 career starts for the Los Angeles native out west, and his numbers so far this year has been solid.
Correct. There's a lot of new for him. There's a new snap count, playing under center a little bit more, calling the plays. Back at USC, they didn't do that. The snap count was just the clap. So now there's so much more on the plate of a relatively inexperienced quarterback.
Good news for the Cards. Isaac Brown on the field for snap number 1 was listed as questionable for most of this week. Just 1 carry a week ago in the victory over Bowling Green. He went for 18, a stutter step, bit of a cut, and bottled up after a gain of 1.
Isaac Brown is healthy, Roy. He is a home run hitter. There is a questionable that they talked about him for this game, and he's obviously out there. But, man, he is a big play waiting to happen.
Rookie of the year in the ACC last year overall and on the offensive side. Cardinals do a great job recruiting Dade and Broward counties in South Florida. Brown, a Miami native, his second carry, and this time sent down quickly. He's going to lose a yard. Rasheem Biles. He promised his head coach he was going to play better today with multiple penalty flags coming in late.
Yeah, not only Biles, but also Lovelace in the middle, number 0. He's going to fake like he's dropping, then he's going to blitz. So you have 2 of your linebackers who are deceiving the offense by their coverage.
ACC officiating crew. Justin Elliott, our referee, with some great insight last night in that Friday night thriller between Virginia and Florida State.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 60, his first. Penalty is half a distance to the goal, 3rd down.
You got all the insight on all the big plays late in that game with the collab with the Operations Center down in Charlotte. Meanwhile, Rasheed Miller, the guilty party here, is going to back the Cards up a little more.
And this is the worst place you want to be in general, but also versus a Pitt defense, a defense that is guaranteed to bring pressure. Now you're in a 3rd, and not even obvious. This is really a 3rd, and hey, let's just run the ball so we don't have too far of a backed up punt.
Third down and a long ways to go. After the dead ball infraction, here comes the pressure. Louisville able to protect, and the throw is high. 2 receivers in the area. Hurry was on the back end of that route. And the Pitt defense forcing an early 3-and-out. Chris Bell on the crosser was available for a moment. And for Jeff Brom, back to the drawing board.
Correct. When it's 3rd and 23, number 1, you're facing a team that brings pressure, so you're not going to have enough time for the routes to develop. Number 2, it messes up your timing. As a quarterback, you know they're bringing pressure, so you're trying to keep your eyes down the field, but you feel the rush around you.
Carter Schwartz, Louisville punter, 2 yards deep in his own end zone. Heavy pressure, he got rid of it. Penalty flag comes in. Johnson sent down to the 47. He wanted more. And we'll see what the infraction is. Contact with a punter. Is it roughing the punter or running into? If it's roughing, it's a 1st down. If it's running into the kicker, just a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, it looked to me like running into. It wasn't in the plant leg of the kicker. So that looks like a 5-yard penalty. And my question is, do you take the 5 yards or do you have him repunt it? So you're going to see, look, they're trying to bring pressure, trying to block it. They run into that, not the plant leg, the leg that's up to kick. And so that, to me, is the 5-yard variety.
Josh Guerriere
running into the kicker.
Came into him.
Defense, number 14. That penalty has declined. The result of the play is 1st down.
Punt of 44 yards under duress and a return of just 4. And so Panthers back on the field with outstanding field position from their own 47 to begin drive number 2.
Correct. And part of the, if you want to just take a step further of why a penalty like that holding, like that personal foul, is so detrimental is that now all of a sudden, look where Pitt is starting. They're starting at midfield. They're not starting at the 25 or backed up. So you give yourself a less opportunity to be successful by having penalties on offense. It hurts your defense.
Jakarian Turner, a.k.a. Boosie Turner, another carry with a crease and a first down into Louisville territory. Gain of 14, so the Panthers on the ground have been very effective so far.
Correct, and they're still going back to that tempo. I love it. This is the tempo. Now it's a series where you might stay out of the huddle, but instead of waiting, snap it quickly.
As fast as you can go for offensive coordinator Cade Bell. Hicks open for a moment off the carom, and he caught it! The Louisville transfer into the end zone. Sam, they wanted him to have a big game today against his old team, and a fast start for number 3 in Royal Blue and Pitt Gold.
Yeah, Blue Hicks is a competitor. You talk to anybody in part of the Pitt program and also the Louisville program, they said he was a competitor. Look at the focus. It's going to be a great job by Mac trying to bat that ball away, but he didn't try hard enough. Look at his eyes, the eyes of Hicks. He keeps his eyes on the football and keeps it off the ground. That's a beautiful play by Blue Hicks.
10th touchdown pass of the season for Eli Holstein. That one coming from 39 yards out. Taurus Hicks, nicknamed Blue, and it makes sense now playing for the Panthers as Pitt takes advantage of that outstanding field position, the early shot. And it pays dividends. And we'll do that again.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. Play the try.
Well, Hicks feeling good. 2 seasons at Louisville, caught 13 passes for the Cards before transferring here to Pitt. Eli Holstein, now that he's healthy, remember banged up last year after that brilliant start. Panthers were 7-0 in 2024. Wheels came off late due to those injuries. And he has felt like a different player this year, despite what happened against WVU. It was a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter of that game before they coughed it up. But you're not going to see a better catch in America today than this one.
Well, there was perfect coverage, but a better catch. Sometimes, even if you have the best defense on, the receiver makes a better play. Blue Hicks for the tud.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the table for a special presentation. Today, we are proud to recognize junior volleyball standout Olivia Babcock, the class of 2025. The Collegiate Women's Sports Award. Honoring the top female student athletes across 12 NCAA sports. Olivia completed a phenomenal sophomore season, earning the 2024 National Player of the Year and ACC Player of the Year honors. Also named ACC Freshman of the Year congratulating Olivia Babcock as Bobby Fitchu, Chairman, Team Manager, Corporate Social Responsibility Division at American Honda Motor Company, now presents her with the Honda Award.
Exploding this season. Duke Watson, the new Cardinals running back. Moss with a little bit of time through traffic and a completed pass across the 20. And a gain of about 8 yards on first down. And an important drive for Miller Moss in this Cardinals offense. Chris Bell, his first reception. Try to get on track, find a little rhythm.
Correct. You see Miller Moss saying, hey, calm down, calm down. That's what they need to happen if you're Louisville. You're down 2 scores, you got a 3 and out early. Just get 1 first down to get momentum.
Moss again back to the air, didn't need many. And on 2nd and 2, he'll gain 3 to Colin Lacey. And a first down, the first of the afternoon for Louisville.
And I understand a game like this, Roy, there's so much energy, there's so much juice, there's so much excitement, but you can't put too much stock into the first 1, 2, or even 3 series. You need guys to calm down, get into your groove. And so Pitt should be excited at the score, but Louisville, if they can get a drive going, they'll be able to get back into a groove.
Watson through a hole. And it closed quickly. 1-yard pickup for Duke Watson, the sophomore from Forsyth, Georgia. You watch how he plays and how he runs. It's just a dangerous combination between Watson and Brown in this Louisville backfield.
Yeah, Watson, we talked to the coaches this week, they're like, man, what stands out to me is how shifty he is. 6 feet, 180, not the biggest guy, but he runs strong.
Offensive play caller Jeff Brown reminding us this week our receivers have to be physical against what Pittsburgh represents. Part of that solution to this Pittsburgh defense is Chris Bell, who hasn't been 100% this year, will pick up another first down here.
Correct, but what I love about this play is that they had a running play before, so the reason why a play action can work and a pass like that can be effective is that you at least try to run the football, even if it's not for first downs or 5, 6, 7 yards. It gives receivers like Chris Bell that much more of an opportunity to get open. So play action gets set up by not even successful runs, just attempting to run.
40th career game for Bell. On 1st and 10, Moss. Pocket collapsing. Moss under duress. Trying to spot Lacey, his safety valve. Kyle Lewis applying the pressure.
Yeah, Kyle Lewis is one of the leaders of the team. He's a captain of this defense. And you're going to see him lined up about 4 to 5 yards off, apexing in between the receiver and the tackle. You see the spin move on the running back, Isaac Brown, so he wins in the rush, but he doesn't finish the sack. Expect more pressure from Pitt and Kyle Lewis, but if they get those guys down in the backfield, it'll make it more of a challenge for Louisville.
And we spoke to Randy Bates, the defensive play caller for the Panthers pregame. He was like a mad scientist walking around on the field, plotting how he can get to Miller Moss more today. Plenty of time this occasion, and a first down grab into Pitt territory by Nate Kariski, redshirt junior from Leesburg, Virginia, Gonzaga High School.
And this is the downside of being a team that always blitz. See, there are only 4 rushers, but so all of a sudden DBs have to play longer in coverage. Kariski does a great job of finding the open spot in the zone.
Moss to Brown, turf monster caught him. 2-yard gain on the swing pass, and that's it. Baines Marquez brought him down, number 23 for Pitt.
This is the time, Roy, where I have a little bit of momentum, I have a little bit of confidence if I'm Louisville. You have a coach that loves to do trick plays. Maybe it's a reverse, maybe it's a flea flicker. It might be a little bit early in the game to do that, but this part of the field is where you can expect plays like that from Jeff Brom.
Panthers just lost a free safety, at least temporarily. Javon McIntyre headed to the locker room moments ago. Play action, Moss eludes that first wave. Heaves one deep. Had a man, and it's incomplete. Dakari Collins was breaking wide open, and Moss sensing that backside pressure.
Yeah, and I am seeing a little bit of elusiveness from Miller Moss. He's not the most athletic quarterback, but he's able to avoid and evade some of the pressure. The more that this can happen, the better it'll be for Louisville. You have to be able to be precise on a pass downfield, but the more that Miller Moss can scramble, the better it'll be, because that scramble drill makes it easier for receivers.
Cards 0 for 1 on 3rd down today. From the Pitt 45. Moss straight ahead on the move. Duke Watson with a penalty marker down. Stopped about 2 yards shy of a first down. And Harrison brought him down quickly. Here comes the penalty.
Holding. Offense, number 53. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
Here's Lance Robinson, the Houston transfer, getting the start at right tackle.
Yeah, there have been some challenges for Louisville's offensive line. They haven't been able to handle the pressure at all versus teams that don't often pressure. Now they're facing a team that loves the pressure. We talked about Miller Moss's ability to evade, but the problem is if you're not able to block up front, it doesn't matter how much Miller Moss can do because those holding penalties or sacks lead to negative plays.
Took down Isaiah Neal. Now it's 3rd and 18. Pressure. They'll try to set up the screen. Nearly intercepted. And that play was doomed from the snap. Blaine Spires, that massive defensive end, got a couple of big paws on it. And the pressure by Nick James.
Yeah, every single linebacker on this defense knows how to rush. Nick James, number 11, is going to have pressure right up the middle. Excuse me, defensive lineman right up the middle, and then Miller Moss puts the ball in harm's way. That's the one thing you want to avoid if you're Louisville. Keep the ball out of harm's way versus a team that brings pressure.
We talked to Randy Bates and Pat Narduzzi yesterday, and we told them, we know the pressure is coming on 3rd down. Do you want to change up the mojo a little bit more against this team this year and bring that heat on 1st and 2nd down? And it was almost like we knew what the game plan was at that point because the numbers in previous years between these two teams, Pitt had dialed back that pressure early. Different story so far today. A 10-0 lead. They'll get it back after this.
Today's Script Society Spotlight shines on the Barnabedian family. Joining Director of Athletics Alan Green is class of 1967 graduate and Champions Advisory Board member Nish Barnabedian. For more than 50 years, Nish has been giving back to Pitt. His generosity was vital in the construction of Barnabedian Field, home of Pitt softball, and the soon to open Barnabedian Wrestling Center at Victory Heights. He and his wife Diana have also supported women's basketball and track and numerous other programs to make the greatest impact. Panther fans, please.
Kevin, thank you. Pittsburgh gets it back. Early 10-0 advantage for the Panthers. And the pass completed to Poppy Williams, tackled by Caleb Perry. 2 possessions for Pitt and 2 scores. First touchdown coming from the Louisville transfer, Blue Hicks. Holstein sensing the pressure. Williams diving downwards to pick up the reception, a 3-yard gain. Quickly, it's 3rd and 5.
Correct. 2 possessions, 2 scores, 0 huddles. So what this means is that Cade Bell is controlling the tempo, controlling the personnel on defense.
Cards are known to show pressure with play caller Ron English on that side of the football. They're showing it on 3rd and 5. Eli Holstein beginning his career at Alabama. Under duress, ball batted straight into the air, and it should have been picked. TJ Quinn would love to have that scenario back one more time. Almost like a center fielder turning around for a baseball. near the wall.
Yeah, this is the play that you need. TJ Quinn is spying the quarterback, and the ball gets tipped up in the air, and that's his for the taking. But as a linebacker, you're not used to being in those situations. Yes, that's one you have to catch, but there's reasons why you work on really receiving drills for the first 5 or 7 minutes in every practice or even in warm-ups, because as the linebacker, you're not used to catching, you're used to tackling. So that's why you drop a play like that. That should be an easy catch for a football player.
Well, TJ Quinn, Louisville lifer, 5th year with the program. Cards do get the stop on the 3 and out. Colin Lacey across the 30, a high step. Decent return. Good starting field position after a punt of 44. And a return of 8 coming up at 3:30 Eastern.
Well, Ty Simpson's been outstanding the last 2 games. I was at the game last year, Roy, and it came down to the wire. Ryan Williams had an outstanding catch. I'm leaning Bama, but it should be a battle.
It's the catch of the millennium by Williams. Insane comeback in Tuscaloosa. Different story between the hedges. Georgia doesn't get Alabama in Athens all that often. It hasn't happened in an extremely long time. Chris Bell with a reception and a 6-yard gain for the Cardinals.
Yeah, oftentimes they play each other in SEC championship games, playoffs, etc. But man, I'm excited about what Louisville may be able to do. How will they slow down the pressure from Pitt? Will it be quick game to Chris Bell? Will it be play action? Will they try to stick to the run? This is a great chess match in this game.
Isaac Brown, the running back, on 2nd and 4. Pressure by Pitt. Brown runs straight into it and straight through it. Ahead to midfield, a first down.
And so there are a couple different answers or options when it comes to teams that love to blitz. Sometimes you can run away from them. Sometimes you can run right at them. Why? Because if one person misses, there's one less defender to try and tackle you. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing this run, but it's not to run. This is specifically by Jeff Brom to set up the play action pass.
Go back to a year ago. Louisville torched Pitt in a home game. Kind of changed the complexion, really, of both seasons, at least from a Pittsburgh perspective. Colin Lacey on the screen into Pitt territory, and Isaac Brown went absolutely off in that game. And fun to watch him and what he can do now, back as the reigning ACC Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he's an explosive running back from Miami. He's 5'10", 180, 190, but he just has this next level gear to him. He's a video game when you watch him play.
Is that the X button you press, or circle, or square? Which button do you press with Isaac Brown?
I would say get a little triangle in there so you can hurdle over somebody. He may not even need that.
Play action, Moss back to the air. Behind his intended target, Dakari Collins. Well, Collins had a step, 2nd time today. Moss has been off the mark and back down to Taylor Davis.
Well, Roy, Pitt free safety Javon McIntyre spent time in the locker room. He's dealing with a shoulder. He's still on the sideline right now, but athletic training staff told me he is cleared and available to return to play. He immediately came back to the sideline, got around the iPad with his guys, said, hey, what I missed. Keep in mind, this is a 5th year, a captain. He's a huge piece of this Pitt defense.
Big-time leader is Javon McIntyre, Delaware native. Blue-collar dude, according to Pat Narduzzi and Randy Bates. 3rd down and 9. Moss, dangerous throw, and it's caught off the carom. Chris Bell, and somehow, some way, the drive continues right through the hands of Rashad Battle.
Well, Chris Bell is a receiver that a lot of NFL scouts are excited about. He's number 2 on a lot of people's big boards, but this is part of the reason why. Not just his size and his skill, but his concentration. He tries to knock the ball away so it's not intercepted, but he knocks it away, then he gets it back. That's a high level and elite level of focus and concentration, doing 2 jobs at once.
Moss back to the air. Receiver never turned around. Trayshawn hurried. And it's 2nd and 10.
That was a phenomenal play, Roy, by Bell, because 2 things happened. He turned into a defensive back, knocking the ball away, but then he turned back into a receiver to catch it. So he just prevented what could have been either a pick 6 or a turnover to a 1st down. That's a big-time play by Chris Bell.
It was a transformer on that play, shifting into 2 different football bodies in the same play in less than a second. Much more than meets the eye. Chris Bell, 6'2", 220-pound senior. And you can feel the inconsistencies in the passing game with Moss. Wheels are turning a little bit internally, trying to figure out this offense. the cadence and the rhythm of it.
Correct. Everything is new in this offense. Jeff Brom is a former quarterback, so he wants to use the snap count as a weapon. Unlike when he was at USC, it was just a clap. And Jeff Brom wants to use under center, and so there's so much he wants to do. Miller Moss needs to get caught up with Jeff Brom, specifically on a critical third down like this in plus territory.
Nine starts last season at SC for Miller Moss. Fourth start in 2025 for the Louisville Cardinals.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And a sloppy start on this side of the football for Louisville here in our first quarter.
Correct. And so we have a 3rd and 15, another 3rd and long for this Louisville offense.
Please reset the game clock to 1:56. 1:56.
And if I'm Jeff Brom in this Louisville offense, I'm going to block it up. I'm going to have 7-man protection, keep a tight end in if possible, and a running back, or I'll go empty to try and get that ball out quick. You know, if they're going to bring pressure, the more you can protect, the better it'll be for you.
Panthers back out of the pressure. Moss, full delivery, and it's intercepted. Rasheed Biles. There he goes. Still in bounds. Biles. All the way to the end zone. The pick six. He told his head coach last week, I wasn't happy with how I played against West Virginia. He vowed to change it today. Guess what happened next? A 75-yard house call, and for Miller Moss and Jeff Brom, conversations will be had after a play like that.
Yeah, it's been a couple near interceptions for Miller Moss, but man, that was a phenomenal play by number 3, Rasheed Biles.
What a start for the home team. Off the open date, off a loss in a big rivalry game. Sam, they're playing like their hair's on fire.
Yeah, this is a Pat Narduzzi special. Rasheed Biles is going to be in coverage. He's going to drop out to his left, and watch it. You know, he's using his pre-central gyrus, right? He's having a Devin Hester type of return. He went on show mine. That was a beautiful play. He's dropping outside, reading the quarterback's eyes, undercuts the route, high points the ball, and then he runs like a running back, and he tiptoes down the sideline. Look at the vision. He could have cut back, but he doesn't. He sees that their offensive lineman trying to chase me. You're not going to be able to catch me. That was precision. That was confidence. That was technical skill by number 3, Rasheed Biles. Look at it. He could have come back and says, no, you're too slow. You're too slow. I'm going to hurdle over you, press the triangle button like we talked about before, and find the end zone for 6.
He's a state champion in basketball in high school, coming out of Columbus, Ohio. He looked like a natural route runner and wide receiver down the sideline there. Put Rasheed on offense. Coach Narduzzi, maybe that's a conversation in the film room next week.
And yes, put him on offense. I love that. I love the return, but more than anything, that drop was textbook. You're supposed to drop outside, right outside the hashes, and then you got to look back and read the quarterback's eyes and get depth. He did everything you're supposed to do as an inside linebacker in the drop in this defense, including not only get the turnover, but score off of the turnover.
We talked about it early in this first quarter. 3 deep, 2 under. Fire zone blitz and the different ways to disguise the anticipated pressure for Randy Bates and Pat Narduzzi. How will Louisville be able to digest and process the different pre-snap looks and post-snap reads in this game? Let's take a look at today's More Than a Home Team, brought to you by Cracker Barrel. Cozy football, the NFL and the ACC.
Yeah, and apparently Mike Tomlin's a great coach when it comes even to his relationship with Pitt. There'll be times where Mike Tomlin's team will be finishing their practice and their walkthrough, and some of the Pitt players will be going out to the same fields for their practice. There'll be a little bit of potential interaction. So it's great that they share that facility, but I think even better for some of these college players to be around the pros.
Nigel Maynard, the freshman defensive back. Slow to his feet. And with 1:41 to go here in our first quarter, Louisville needing points. It has moved the football more effectively than that first possession. The Pittsburgh defense forcing the hand of Miller Moss. And for number 7 in the all-white unis, big drive not only in this game, but you feel like just to kickstart this ACC schedule.
Correct, but just going back to what Louisville needs to do, Roy, they need to stick to the run game. Do not make this a one-dimensional offense. That plays right into what Pitt wants you to do. So stick to the run game. I understand it's a 2-score game, but we saw last night TCU up 17-0, ended up losing that one.
Yeah, road game at Arizona State. Duke Watson sent down quickly. And Nick Lappy. And a TFL makes it 2nd and 11. Coming up here on ESPN2, Oklahoma State with a interim head coach after Mike Gundy was fired earlier this week, and some drama with Baylor in town. The scene looked like at T-Boone Pickens Stadium. Moss, back shoulder toss, and Bell twisting and turning down, able to collect it inbounds right in front of Harrison. And an injured Pitt Panther back at the 22.
Yeah, Chris Bell's been very solid this game, and a lot of it has to do with his size. 6'2", over 200 pounds, strong receiver.
Zach Crothers in clear pain. Redshirt freshman from Weston, Florida. Redshirted a season ago. State champion on the gridiron in high school. Taking a look at that right leg. And good to see Crothers. Came down awkwardly after rushing the passer and Miller Moss.
See him trying to get that arm over the line and slide into him. And the tough part about, games like this, if you're Pitt, you're excited, man. You have the best start you could have imagined. But you start to see a couple guys go down. You remember the fact that, man, okay, we have to try to do the best we can, but man, how do we come out of a game like this clean?
Crothers to the sideline. We'll get an injury update there. Moss back on the field. It's 1st and 10 after a gain of 18 to Chris Bell. Pressure. Moss delivers. That's a strike. And a head towards midfield. Tracian Hurry. 8-yard pickup on 1st down. So Louisville's starting to move the football. No points to show for it. And Moss, after sending that completion to the wrong team 75 yards the other way, is going to try to bounce back.
Correct, but they need to stay balanced. Louisville needs to stay balanced to keep Pitt from being able to be ultra aggressive as they usually are.
Isaac Brown into the teeth of that defense and spun down backwards. Braylon Lovelace, how impressive. Ball, 6 carries, 5 yards in our first 15 minutes. An important 3rd down, first play of the 2nd quarter. Moss is going to be gobbled up and sacked. Blade Spires got there.
This Pitt defense, Roy, is relentless. Whether it's the linebacker, Spires, you see on the edge, he's unblocked, he avoids the running back, Brown. There's not enough time. They're not giving the offense enough time to do anything.
2nd sack of the season for Spires, a loss of 11. 4th tackle behind the line of scrimmage for this Panthers defense. And the Cardinals forced to punt yet again. Carter Schwartz will send it to Kenny Johnson. From his own 25. Fair catch. Interference. That's a penalty. And the sloppy start continues for Louisville, and Pittsburgh will be awarded outstanding field position as a result of kick-catch interference.
Correct. You just heard from Jeff Brom saying we can't have negative penalties. What do you see? Another negative penalty. So it's not just one side of the ball. Offense, defense, and special teams for Louisville has struggled because of the pressure Pitt's putting on them.
And if you're Antonio Meeks, you got to know better. Give Johnson a little real estate. Unless he was shoved into him by a Pittsburgh blocker. We're going to have a conversation about it.
The only issue potentially is that was a late fair catch signal. So it didn't look like Meeks was shoved into him, but the signal came out late.
There is no foul for kick-catch interference as the player was blocked into him. The ball was touched by the receiving team, then recovered by the kicking team. It's first down, Louisville.
An incredible turn of events. No kick-catch interference. And the Panthers can't believe it. We'll take a look ourselves.
So Kenny Johnson's left hand may be the first thing that touched the ball. There was a little bit of a push in the back, ever so slightly, so that's what the referee saw. And the left hand of returner Kenny Johnson may have been the first thing to touch.
A play you just don't see all that often. And the real question is, was Meeks shoved into Kenny Johnson there?
And even though it was light, there was enough that the referees saw, the officials saw, that said he was shoved into him. It didn't have to be a big shove, but a little push in that direction is just enough.
First down and goal for the Cardinals, and new life on the road. Watson, the running back. Confusion at the line of scrimmage. Watson's going to try to get to the edge. And he can't do it. Lovelace knocked him out of bounds.
That was a textbook is understatement. The tackle by number 0, Braylon Lovelace. Watch him right in the middle. He's literally right in the A-gap. This is what you call sideline to sideline. He sprints to keep Watson from getting in the end zone. If Louisville doesn't score on this series, that's going to be the reason why. Plays like that are special.
Mark Pounders comes in as an extra offensive lineman. Jumbo set. Panarello, the fullback, also the I formation. They'll hand it off. Duke Watson. And a scrum near the goal line. Initial indication he stopped short by Brookins. So quickly it's third down and goal, and this crowd still on its feet. Play clock down to 8. Cardinals got to go. Late substitution by Pitt.
Timeout. Louisville, they're first. 30 seconds.
I want to go back to the issue with the fair catch and the block. And watch 23 for the Panthers against Meeks for Louisville. Tell me about the contact here. There's that left-handed shove at the last second. The touch by Johnson, Sam.
Yeah, so just enough on that left-handed shove. It wasn't big, but it was just enough to keep the kick-catch interference from being called. And then Kenny Johnson, for whatever reason, probably thinks he's going to be interfered with, ends up touching the ball right before Meeks from Louisville does.
Let's do this third down and goal once again.
This is what, if you're a defense, we call it sudden change. This is what you live for. Opportunities like this at the goal line. This is where character is built for people on defense. 2 goal line stops. They're looking for a third.
Cards have 2 downs to get the touchdown. They need about 2.5 inches. Who wants it? Straight ahead. Miller Moss. And he's in for the touchdown. Well, Duke Watson, an assisted tush push, somehow got him across. And here comes a penalty flag. And Sam, somehow, someway, Louisville right back in this football game.
Well, that's exactly what they needed. They needed some kind of sense of hope. And they got it from the turnover, the sudden change, and the touchdown.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 71, his first. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Musa, the guilty party. They'll back him up on the kickoff. And a chance to make it a 10-point game. Watson gets the assist.
Correct. That initially wasn't in the end zone, but Duke Watson's turning his legs, pushing Miller Moss, and gets him in the end zone.
Cooper Ranvier. On for the point after he has been perfect this season. And that trend continues. 17-7. Our new score here in Pittsburgh. 12:32 to go here in the half. And this crowd not loving any bit of what we just saw.
His teaching made me get pretty good at it, and I appreciate everything he did. Useful there was my 5th grade teacher, Jacobson Elementary. She's my favorite teacher because she always supported us, she always believed in us, and told us that we could do anything we wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, today's game presented by Louisville Foster. At this time, Pitt Senior Deputy Athletic Director Kyle Bruce will present John Castle, President and Chief Executive Officer at LB Foster, with today's game ball. Thank you to LB Foster for your continued support of Pitt Athletics. A for every Pitt Panther field goal this season, Huntington Bank will donate $1,000 to forward.
We're just getting warmed up here at the early stages of our second quarter. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. After the penalty, Blue Hicks to his right up the field. Penalty marker flies in and brought down near the 38.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 17. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Back to the studio, Kevin Connors, what do you have? Yeah, Jordan Love not walking through those doors for the Utah State Aggies, but no problem on the road in the heart of the SEC. It's undefeated Vanderbilt, so an interesting start there over on SEC Network. Interesting here, and every penalty marker that flies in incites this crowd. After what we just witnessed, what could have been a kick-catch interference, Pittsburgh with the ball near midfield instead ends up in a turnover, and the Cardinals cash in quickly. And the Miller-Moss quarterback sneak. Eli Holstein back on the ground, hit hard, and a collision near the 28, gain of 4. Wesley Bailey brought him down quickly. And all the big plays that we have seen, Rasheem Biles, the pick 6, 75-yard house call. Start the scoring party for the Panthers. Turner over the right edge. 1-yard gain, quickly it's 3rd down. Caleb Perry a tackle, and here we go.
And as much as we've been talking about this Pitt defense, the Louisville defense isn't half bad themselves. But they do need to step up, whether it's force a turnover of their own or get a sack at a near interception. Plays like that will build their confidence.
Pocket collapsing, Holstein escapes. Across the grain, and that pass is incomplete. Coming back for it was Johnson. And you mentioned the Louisville defense. We haven't talked a ton about what Ron English brings to the table on that side. They get the stop here, and the Cards get it back.
Yeah, their defense has been solid all season long, but this is their first true test. And so far, we've seen outstanding catches. We've seen amazing plays. But this is the time to settle in for both teams to make this game into both teams putting their best foot forward.
Panthers 0 for 3 on 3rd down, so the Cards stepping up those money situations. And here's Colin Lacey, electric return man. Goal for Pitt was to kick it towards the sidelines, off the bounce, and this ball will be whistled dead near the 17. Check in with Taylor Davis in our Tecovas player spot.
Process of rebuilding right now, and he is just in the beginning stages of giving back.
Great story, and Moss dealing with a lot on the field and off. Isaac Brown tumbling down. Ball did pop out late. They're indicating he was already down on this turf.
Ruling on the field as the ball carrier was down. It's 2nd down.
Blaine Spires, good start for him. That defensive end spot, Sam.
Yeah,
the ruling on the field of the runner being down is under review.
Yeah, great job by Spires, but it looks pretty clear that his elbow hit the ground. Isaac Brown's elbow hit the ground. That caused the fumble. But this looks like a matchup for me, Roy, of good on good, of defense on defense. The Pitt defense has been outstanding. They've been phenomenal, forcing turnovers. The Louisville defense is just trying to hold on. You see Pitt again trying to see if they can do whatever they can to get that ball out. But that ball's looks like the elbow was down in that one.
Forearm is down, elbow is down. He has control before it pops out. Jim Northcutt, our replay official today, in conjunction and collaboration, the game day operations in Charlotte as we step aside.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. 2nd down.
That won the championships and emerged not only here in the Steel City, but in the National Football League. Replay review was upheld. 2nd down and 11. No fumble by Brown. Colin Lacey on the left side, shoved out of bounds near a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and short. Louisville trailing 17-7. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. After a 9-yard gain, see what Louisville tries to dial up here with Miller Moss and Jeff Brom. Brown motions out, And the dump-off route available across the 35 is Colin Lacey, stopped by Braylon Lovelace. So Lacey starting to warm up here a little bit as one of the more electric players for this Cardinals offense.
Correct, and it looks like Miller Moss, this Louisville offense, are starting to find answers for the pressure. That was just one answer. It's a long test. But if you can start to find some of those answers, it could alleviate the pressure that's being put on them.
10-yard gain on 3rd and short. Back shoulder, diving out of bounds. And incomplete to Hurry. He was in a hurry to try to get those feet down. He couldn't do it.
See, Miller Moss is going to face a 4-man rush. It's not going to be a blitz, so he has time to set his feet in the pocket. It's going to be a little bit of late pressure. And that ball's pretty much on target. Hurry just couldn't bring it in.
It's going to be an awkward try to grab it. I'll probably tell you tomorrow in the film room that he should have grabbed it. Moss 12 completions so far in 21 attempts. 2nd down to Brown. Cuts it back inside to the 39. Rashad battle. Clean stop and a gain of 3.
And I don't know if you can see this too, Roy, but it looks like Isaac Brown, we're not seeing that explosiveness just yet. I understand that he is a big play receiver, maybe 2 yards, 3 yards, running back, 2 yards, 3 yards. Then finally he'll break a big one. But the defense has kept him in check so far.
3rd down and 7. Brown limited today with that lower leg injury. Cardinals -4 rushing yards to start. Moss with time, easy pitch and catch, and a 1st down. Racing across midfield, Antonio Meeks.
Yeah, we heard from Jeff Brom this week. We said, okay, what do you do against the blitz that Narduzzi brings? He said, man, we have to maybe attack the inside of the field, the middle of the field, the slot receiver. So we're seeing guys like Meeks step up and make plays. Lacey being on the inside as well. You have to have some answers early if you want to at least provide a little bit of doubt for Pitt's defense.
Sam, my question for you, how can the Cardinals find a way to generate some sort of rushing attack, because it hasn't been there yet? Watson will try to change that here. And a positive gain of 8 yards on 1st down. Harrison, the tackle.
Well, I think you have to keep on going back to it. Yeah, you can't just abandon the run, even if you're down early. You see a great play by Watson, a great cut, an 8-yard or so gain. Plays like that give you the opportunity to be able to have a play-action pass.
Longest rush of this game for the Cardinals. Now finally in that positive category with 4 rushing yards after a gain of 8. Try it again. Watson needed 2 on 2nd down. Stopped a half-yard shy. The line to gain by Isaiah Neal.
And I know, Roy, oftentimes in 3rd and 1, people see that as a down where they can try to take a shot because they're in field goal range. You can go for it, but I don't think you take a shot downfield. I think you try and get your 1st down and reset to try and get points on the board.
Well, we know that Isaac Brown is not 100%. We knew coming in that Duke Watson was not completely healthy, and now slow to his feet down at the 40-yard line. Well, you get past Watson and Isaac Brown. We know that Kewan Brown, who started last week against Bowling Green, he's out for this contest. Sam, then you're at the walk-on Braxton Jennings, a true freshman from Ashland, Kentucky.
Correct, and sometimes you have to answer when your number is called. Braxton Jennings is a freshman. He walked on, as you mentioned, but with the injuries to people in front of him, that's that next man up mentality.
Taylor?
Guys, even from early in the game, I could tell Isaac Brown is definitely dealing with some discomfort. His left ankle is substantially taped. He's spending most of his time on the sidelines sitting on the bench. And Jeff Brown made it a point to emphasize to me pregame they have been limited all week in practice. We're not sure how much of a load they'll be able to take, specifically with Isaac Brown when he's making those cuts. I've seen him try a couple on the sidelines, seems uncomfortable, and obviously with Duke Watson still down, I'll keep you guys updated on where that stands.
So it's not only on the ground rush yards, but pass protection. And you've got a true freshman that could be your lead guy the deeper we get into this game. That becomes an issue against the very aggressive Pittsburgh defense.
Correct. And Ro, we talked about this really with Coach Brom throughout the week. We said, okay, what's up with the running back position? He said, man, I don't know. These guys, they're battling, they're fighting, and so we see him get rolled up on there. You see Duke Watson get rolled up on there. Now he's up and trying to limp off the field. You have that. And then Isaac Brown has some lower body issues. So as much as these guys are trying to fight through it, this is football. Sometimes injuries happen.
And More pressure now on that right arm of Miller Moss. It's been a series of transfer quarterbacks in for Jeff Brom in his Louisville tenure. You go back to Jack Plummer, Tyler Shuck a year ago, and he's told us this week, I love bringing in guys for that one season that have something to prove. And Miller Moss has a lot to prove this season. A good start, a solid start at 3-0, but the competition much stiffer here so far today in Pittsburgh.
Correct, but this is a great opportunity for the Louisville offense. They're in plus territory. They have 3rd and 1, so you have options. Defense has a little bit of doubt. Maybe they'll do a play action, but I love just getting the first down and then resetting your offense.
Brown, the running back. Bell goes in motion. Moss straight ahead. He scored a touchdown on that play moments ago. He'll secure the first down here. Isaac Brown, the assist on the dime. And now 3 third down conversions on this possession for the Cardinals.
This is coming after a 3-and-out that started the game for Louisville. So Pitt's defense is still playing very much downhill, but now you're at about the 35-yard line. Pitt's still going to be aggressive. This is the time where you can start thinking about taking shots further down the field.
Big 37 is checked in the game for Jeff Brom. Panarello, the fullback. Seven in the box for the Panthers. Off the edge, there's the pressure. Crossing route is covered up. And a late flag comes in. Lovelace with the blanket coverage right near the 30. Did he get too handsy?
If they think he did, I would disagree with this call if it's on Lovelace.
Pass interference. Defense, number 0. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
This crowd has already been feisty due to a number of calls in this quarter.
So look, Braylon Lovelace is in man-to-man coverage. I don't see too much, if any, of a material restriction or, sometimes the DBs or linebackers get their hand on the hip. There's not that. That didn't exist on that play.
That wasn't pass interference. Penalties crept up on Pitt in that loss in Morgantown 2 weeks ago. 14 of them. Moss, the RPO. Inside slant, there it is. Another first down to Colin Lacey. 12-yard gain, and the Cardinals finding their groove and rhythm now.
You're seeing it, and it's that quick game, and it's not quick game to the outside, quick game to the inside. Throw it 3 to 5 yards and let the receiver run for a first down. That's been the answer so far for Pitt. What I'm excited to see is how will Pitt respond to these answers?
The chess match between these two veteran coaching staffs. Moss off the pump fake and batted down. Boy, the ball just disappeared right at the line of scrimmage. Nick James swatted that one out of the sky.
Yeah, so we're seeing a little bit of that chess match, but a little bit of Louisville starting to move the ball down the field more than they did in the first quarter. So far, there's been a few positive running plays. That positive running action forces Pitt to not be so aggressive, because now it's not a guaranteed pass, it's run or pass.
Louisville on the move, 2nd and 10. Clean pocket, Moss with time across the middle and incomplete. Should have had it. It was contested with Chris Bell. It'll be 3rd and 10. Battle in coverage.
Yeah, great job by Battle, but this one bounces right off of Chris Bell's hands. I understand it's a little bit high, but if it hits you in the hands, that's one that you want to come down with. You're a next level NFL type receiver. Those are ones you got to get.
Battle has been active. 13th play of the drive coming up for Louisville. Brown motions out. Moss gets it to him in space. Tried to split the defenders, couldn't really do it. Formed tackles, Allen Bryant and Rashad Battle. That's going to force a field goal attempt.
Yeah, big stop by that defense. Rashad Battle had 2 back-to-back big plays, keeping the ball in front of you, forcing a field goal.
Cardinals have 2 place kickers this season. Cooper Ranvier handles the shorter attempts. Nick Keller, a booming leg. They trust him back to 65. Hit a school record 57-yarder a week ago. Both specialists have been perfect. This attempt from 35. And Ranvier kicks it right through. One-score game, Cardinals back in it, 5:03 to go here in our first half. Panthers fans not liking the hand that they've been dealt by this veteran officiating crew out of the ACC. Louisville gifted a touchdown to begin this second quarter. A couple of bang-bang plays. Let's get you back to the studio. A busy afternoon for Kevin Connors. Impossible to do, KC, especially after last night. Virginia double overtime upset by 8 over top 10 Florida State. Clemson having a down year, Miami having a fantastic start, and then now undefeated Georgia Tech on the ropes, as is Louisville here at Pittsburgh. Panthers get it back. Holstein with time. Across the face mask, he survives and advances across the 30. Now we think about the Atlantic Coast Conference, Sam, you just mentioned it. The good so far, yeah. On 2nd and 5, confusion. Receiver zigged. Holstein wanted him to Sweeney's team. Virginia Tech has already parted ways with Brent Pryne.
Virginia Tech, we're trying to figure out what they can do, and Clemson needs to wake up quickly.
We met with Jim Phillips, ACC commissioner, pregame. He's on line 1 wanting to address those comments. Holstein going to be stopped short of first down yardage. He needed to gain the 35. And the Louisville defense starting to stand tall. Denzel Lowry brings down the Pittsburgh quarterback. It's a short gain, and now 4th and short. Here comes the punt team for Pat Narduzzi.
We talked about it earlier, Roy. It's been all about Pitt and their defense. They have been outstanding, but Louisville wasn't done, at least defensively, with what they had to say. They're one of the better defenses in the ACC, and they're here to show it. 3 straight 3-and-outs for this Louisville defense.
Changing the complexion of this game, and the punter dropped the football. Louisville takes over. Caleb Junko. There was pressure coming. The ball was dropped, and the fumble recovery by Denzel Lowry. And Caleb said, "That's on me."
Well, you said earlier it's going to be a crazy game. I don't know how you knew, but you knew. And Junko drops the ball. Lowry recovers it. And now all of a sudden we're seeing Louisville get gift wrapped again like it's Christmas. Great field position.
Second special teams gap of this second quarter. And now the Cardinals in plus territory with a chance to tie it with a touchdown.
We talked about it, man. This is a 3-phase game. It's offense, it's defense, yes, but special teams matters.
Under 4 to go in the half. Moss wants to take a shot, and he will. Wide open is Chris Bell. It didn't take long. And here come the Cardinals.
So what do you do, Roy, when a team loves to bring pressure? Well, number 1, you can get it out quick. Or number 2, like they did this time, you can block it all up and trust one guy, one receiver, number 0, Chris Bell.
This game was 17-0 in favor of the Panthers. There was a bang-bang play on an attempted fair catch by Kenny Johnson. It looked to be kick-catch interference. Pitt was going to have the ball with outstanding field position. Instead, there was a blocker shoved into Johnson. no penalty, a turnover ensues. Louisville cashes in, and after the mistake and the drop punt on the snap by Caleb Junko, Chris Bell into the end zone for the second time this year.
You see the 7-man protection, so 7 people blocking up. You only have 1 or 2 guys out in the route. Chris Bell is that one. He's one of the best receivers in college football, at least when it comes to a recruiting standpoint. Hey, who's going to be a next level type of guy standpoint? They missed on that play earlier. It was a little bit high. This time they connect.
And we just showed you the graphic, the good and the bad in the ACC. Louisville with the win today on the road potentially enters the AP Top 25 poll here in the next 24 hours, pending what happens near the bottom. But they would be at 4-0, 1-0 in the ACC, and they become part of that grander conversation in the league. And for Chris Bell, look, he's trying to get healthy, big physical receiver. Greenville High School down in Mississippi. It's his time, and the Cards hope that this is their year after 9 wins last season. ACC championship game appearance the year before that. Coming up tomorrow, Sunday NFL Countdown. Chris Berman sits down with Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni before the Eagles take on the Bucs. Plus behind the scenes in Dallas and Green Bay for Micah Parsons returns to the Metroplex. And live coverage on the field as Jackson Dart gets set for his first start in the NFL. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. The penalty flag came in after the touchback. A lot of dirty laundry on this turf here at Acrisure Stadium today.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team, number 21, 15-yard penalty, first down.
The Panthers catch a bit of a break. Their offense has been stuck in reverse after 3 straight 3-and-outs forced by this Louisville defense.
Correct, and we know that they want to go fast. We understand that that's Cade Bell and his mindset, but this is not a time to go fast. This is the time to slow down. Louisville's going to get the second half, get the ball in the second half. Pitt hasn't been on the field on offense that often. You're looking at the plays, twice as many plays, almost 3 times as much in the time of possession. Slow down the tempo, use your quarterback's legs, and don't be in such a hurry.
Pat Narduzzi told us yesterday, I don't care at all about time of possession. You would tend to agree, but when you look at the number of plays involved there, Pittsburgh's defense in the second half, hold up. It's been on the field a bunch, and a lot of that was due to the pick 6, of course. Tackle out of bounds, that looked to be an issue on the horse collar. And TJ Quinn perhaps cost his team 15.
Yeah, you got to be more disciplined for TJ Quinn. I understand he's outrunning you, but you can't grab the back of that jersey or the nameplate area.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense number 9, 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play, automatic first down.
So I understand there's speed by Goff, but you have to find a way to avoid that, because that right there is not just a penalty, but it's 15 extra yards.
Correction, the foul was on number 34.
So Quinn has to understand that if I can't get him, I got to either go low or try to push him out of bounds. I cannot have a penalty like that to give free yardage to the offense.
Cardinals already with 72 penalty yards. Meanwhile, that's the first down for Pittsburgh in 20 minutes of game time.
See, that tempo is a little bit slower. This is better.
Injured Des Reed today means carries for Goff, who has been effective. And approaching 3 minutes ago in the half, a 4-yard gain. Holloway brings down Goff.
And Roy, just because you're going slower doesn't mean you have to huddle. Still have your same operation, but just give the defense some rest, your defense some rest.
They're being extremely careful with Reed's injury. Holstein batted down. Had a receiver and a tight end breaking open. Conga. The Mutombo-like rejection right at the line of scrimmage.
Now's the time, too, for talking about this defensive battle. Louisville's defense will try to step up. Third down is in my opinion, the most important down in football. Pitt is 0 for 4 on third down. So Louisville has another opportunity to try and get momentum back in their favor.
Panthers need 6. Holstein floats one deep. Try to layer that one in to Poppy Williams. It'll be 4th down if you're Pat Narduzzi. What do you do here? A long field goal attempt? Do you try to go for it?
Yeah, if I'm Narduzzi, I kick the field goal. My offense has struggled so far. We haven't been good, at least in the second half. 0 for 5 on 3rd down. Had 3 straight 3-and-outs before this penalty-ridden drive that helped Pitt. But I like the points in a game like this.
Wind is always a factor here in the Steel City, especially in this venue. It would be about a 51-yard field goal attempt. And Pat Narduzzi says, let's roll the dice. Cardinals with all the momentum after this 17-0 run. Holstein will try to change it. 1st down, Pittsburgh. Kenny Johnson in traffic, and the drive stays alive for the Panthers.
Well, we talked with Cade Bell, offensive coordinator for Pitt, and he said, man, the one area that Eli Holstein can get better at is standing in the pocket when there's pressure. There was pressure. Eli Holstein usually would try to run, maybe try to avoid that and take a sack.
Goff able to bust it loose across the 15. Stopped by Hutchinson. Another quality gain on 1st down on the ground.
Now they're trying to speed it up to get one more play before the 2-minute warning.
After a gain of 9, back to the well, the play action. Holstein kept it. And through a sea of humanity, he couldn't sneak the pigskin through.
That is the 2-minute
and right
timeout.
past Corey Gordon. 3rd down and 1 as we take a deep breath. 2-minute timeout. Kevin, we cannot wait. Offensive play caller for the Pitt Panthers, year 2 for Cade Bell. He is varying up his tempos more this season. They're playing more complimentary football. It's paid dividends so far today in a tie game against Louisville. Jalen Williams straight ahead into the pile on 3rd down and short. And I believe he was stopped short of the line to gain, Sam.
Yeah, it looks like they're marking him short. At this point, you went for it earlier. You keep your offense on the field. Go for it again. Clock did start for some reason.
Now, Cade Bell, the former quarterback at Jacksonville, now with the Jaguars, the Jacksonville Dolphins.
The game
FCS.
clock did not run on the previous play. Please reset the game clock to 1:50 and the play clock to 40 seconds. The clock will start on my signal. Thank you.
Let's see how that adjusts the timing here on 4th and less than a yard.
That's how you go back to the same play you ran. Inside zone right up the middle.
And Sam, I think there was movement on the Pittsburgh side of the line of scrimmage. And that's a very big call here. And Justin Elliott heading over towards the Louisville sideline.
Ball start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, 4th down. Louisville has declined the 10-second runoff. The clock will start on the snap.
Yeah, the clock was moving before, so they'll decline the runoff. And there's Jeff Percy. Moved ever so slightly. Michigan transfer and the starter as a 6th-year senior at left tackle. So instead of 4th and inches, it becomes 4th and 6. Bukowski back on to attempt a 37-yarder. On the way, and Pittsburgh back in front, stopping that 17-0 scoring barrage by the Louisville Cardinals. What a game this has been. We've seen a little bit of winning a national championship. Louisville remains undefeated. Pittsburgh with just the 1 loss. League opener for both sides today. And the Pittsburgh penalties, 14 incurred in Morgantown 2 weeks ago. A true difference maker in that game, and all of a sudden that false start penalty, instead of 4th and inches and going for it, results in the field goal. Self-inflicted wounds have been a major issue for Pat Narduzzi's club. Lacey took a risk out of the end zone. Stopped short of the 25 and brought down crossing the 20. Well, we are certainly very excited about this. The all-new ESPN app is the best way to watch sports. All of ESPN, all in one place with live games, live stats, plus you can track your fantasy teams and personalize with your favorite league's teams and players. .137 to go. Cardinals with 2 timeouts remaining, trailing Pittsburgh by 3. Moss starting to heat up, already 17 first half completions. 162 yards. Looking at Isaac Brown's feet under pressure. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And I like that decision. He just threw it at his feet. Didn't try to attempt to throw it over Lovelace or potentially have an interception. Just get rid of the ball, keep the ball out of harm's way, live to fight another down.
14 rushing attempts, just 9 yards so far on the ground with an injured Isaac Brown. No sign of Duke Watson, who required assistance off the playing surface earlier in the half. Kewan Brown also out today. Middle of the field has been available for Miller Moss. And it is again with Jaleel Skinner. Redshirt junior tight end out of South Carolina. 3rd and 2.
And you see where both teams are trying to figure out, okay, does Pitt call a timeout here to try and get the ball back? Does Louisville hurry it up or keep it at a moderate tempo? That's that kind of question marks that you have in a situation like this.
And the Panthers call a timeout.
Timeout. Pitt, their second. 30 seconds.
It has been a Broncos second quarter. Miscues on special teams for Pittsburgh has gotten Louisville right back in this game, and we were tied until moments ago.
Correct. It started with Kenny Johnson from Pitt, number 2, touching that punt. Louisville recovers it, and then it's a drop punt by Pitt as well. Special teams, 4th down. That's game-changing play. So you might not be a starter on offense, a starter on defense. Find your way on 4th down. Be a reason why your team can win.
Panthers have also struggled with penalties on special teams. One issue out of another. Jeff Brom told us this week we take a lot of pride in that department with our guys. And special teams coach who you chatted with pregame, Carl Maslowski. After the timeout on 3rd and 2, Moss into the turf again. Well, Bell had a step. Moss was under pressure. Panthers are going to get it back. Less than a minute remaining and 1 timeout to work with.
And a team that loves to go fast. So you give them give Cade Bell a timeout, give him a minute left. That's exactly what they practice all week long. So this is not going to be a foreign situation for Pitt and their offense. But that was a great stop by Pitt's defense, giving them an opportunity to try and get points.
Here's Kenny Johnson under the spotlight. Schwartz. Fair catch called for much quicker. And stopped. Whistle dead at the 34, I should say. Panthers take over. 51 seconds for Eli Holstein. And a 3-point lead here at the end of the half.
So what have we not seen so far, at least since that first drive? We haven't seen Eli Holstein try to push the ball downfield. It's a lot of it underneath, but a lot of tips, a lot of balls batted down. If I'm Pitt, I'm not afraid to attack downfield. Get it to Kenny Johnson. Get it to Blue. Like, you have opportunities if you're Pitt to attack the Louisville defense deep.
Johnson's been targeted, Sam, to your point, 6 times today. 3 catches for 51 yards. Blue had that touchdown reception. But he essentially batted to himself. Holstein crossing pattern. First down Panthers. Blue Hicks still on his feet. And ahead to the 46, a gain of 12.
Good, so this is where the hurry up tempo comes in handy. Clock's gonna stop within 2 minutes for the first down until the chains are reset. Everyone knows exactly what to do, where to go for this Pitt offense.
Clock stops for a moment to move the sticks. Holstein underneath. And a collision at midfield. As Goff collects it right there. 5-yard gain and a timeout called.
Timeout. Pitt, their third and final. Please reset the game clock to 32 seconds.
Now, don't forget about the schedule for both Game 4s Sunday in the WNBA playoffs. Aces Fever up first at 3 Eastern on ABC. Then Lynx Mercury at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. The Lynx, #1 seed, facing elimination on the road. Both are available on the all-new ESPN app, and coverage begins. The WNBA Countdown Crew at 2:30 East.
Caliber, multiple times, one of the best in the WNBA.
Panthers out of timeouts, 32 seconds to go in the half. On the Louisville 49. Holstein wants a big play. Into the flats. Justin Holmes, second catch, racing out of bounds. That'll move the chains again. Pittsburgh deeper into Louisville territory, a gain of 11.
So things change a little bit now that Pitt used their last timeout. There are no timeouts remaining, and so going over the middle of the field will be a little bit risky. It's still doable based off the time and getting a first down, but ideally you want to throw it outside and get out of bounds. Cannot take a sack in this situation.
Would be a 56-yard field goal from here. Final Saturday of September. ACC opener for both squads. On the move, open is Poppy Williams, and he's in for the touchdown. Holstein tricked the Louisville defense. They thought he was going to run. Williams was wide open. Cade Bell, the offensive play caller, all about his quarterback there. It was Bell that came from Western Carolina. Poppy Williams also played his football to start his college career in Cullowhee with the Catamounts. And Pitt back up 2 scores after the 38-yard scoring strike. Been a game of runs. And a game of official conversations.
They've been in more huddles than Pitt's offense.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. We'll play the try.
Second penalty on Jeff Percy in this quarter. Both of the false start variety. Panthers started out, led 17-0. And 17 unanswered, scored by Louisville. 9 and counting on the board in response by Pitt here at the end of the half. Make it 10 in a row. 27-17. Eli Holstein drops it perfectly in the bucket. I thought he was going to run it, Sam.
Well, I did too, and you could tell the Louisville defenders thought as well. Eli Holstein has used his legs this game so far, and so since he starts to step up in the pocket, Raphael Poppy Williams, number 5, gets wide open behind the defense. Eli Holstein tucks it, looks like he's going to run. He doesn't. The defensive backs lose their eyes, bad ball, touchdown, Pitt.
4th touchdown of the season for number 5 in blue and gold. And a little dance on the celly. And they're dapping up Eli, the Alabama transfer, rightfully so. 19 seconds remaining. I got news for you here at the end of the half. We're not done yet because Louisville has 2 timeouts as well. That's an eternity in today's college football, and Holstein's numbers as advertised with what he's done so far in his 2nd year with Pitt. Sam Carpenter sends it deep. Cardinals get it at their own 25. How aggressive, if you're Jeff Brom, do you want to be here?
I don't want to be aggressive at all if I'm Jeff Brom. Why? Because I get the ball to start the second half, number one. Number two, I know that Pitt is going to pressure. That's what they do. That's who they are. I have 2 timeouts. I understand the clock will stop on a first down, but my offense hasn't been playing so great either. It's really been special teams that's got those 17 points. So I take it into halftime if I'm Louisville.
18 of 31 passing for Miller Moss in that injured offensive backfield. Brown has given it everything he can today. Inside give. And brought down short of the 30. Rasheem Biles, who had the pick 6 earlier in the game. Competition hasn't been elite to start. And a step up in that department as the Cardinals set to receive the second half kick. Sam Carpenter over the head of Colin Lacey. ESPN College Football presented by Tums here in the Steel City.
Miller Moss, and then the defense has to get involved if Louisville wants to get back in this one.
On first down, inside give, and Colin Lacey now steps in as the running back. Isaac Brown not 100%. Kewan Brown out for this game. Duke Watson not expected to return. He suffered another injury in that second quarter. Now you're down to Lacey, a converted wide receiver, and the walk-on in Braxton Jennings.
Yeah, and Lacey is 5'10", 190, so he's not the biggest back, but he's the gadget guy. You expect him on the outside more, but with some of the injuries, Louisville may need to use him out of the backfield, even if he can catch passes out of the backfield.
It means more passes for Miller Moss. 31 attempts in the first half, 1 to start the second, and a first down grab by Bell.
And Louisville is picking up where they left off, at least on their last drive. They're recognizing the pressure. They're getting the ball out quick in the middle of the field. That's been their answer. It has not been to run the ball. It's been to get quick passes that simulates the running plays that you want to have.
Sam, it feels like Moss has settled into the flow after that early pick 6. But you also realize that Pittsburgh's going to find a way to generate more pressure in this second half. Not this time to Chris Bell. He continues to have the hot hand for his quarterback. Transfer from Southern Cal and a gain of 20 yards.
And if you could just look at Miller Moss's eyes with me, that was a no-look pass. He had Isaac Brown out to the flat. His head is going to be towards the flat. He's going to use that to have that outside defender widen out. So that was a next-level type of play that Miller Moss just executed.
We are seeing more of the no-look passes in college football and faking out opposing defenses. It's something that's happened. 2 penalty markers fly in, a consistent theme in our first 2 quarters today.
Yeah, it looked like a holding by Lance Robinson, the right tackle, number 53.
Holding. Offense, number 53. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Taylor Davis, what do you have for us?
I spoke with Coach Brom at the half, asked him what he emphasized in the locker room. He said the need to rebound. He said we were punched in the mouth. We responded well when Pitt made some errors. We're going to have to do it again. He said they specifically talked about the pressure that Pitt's defense has been dialing up. He said Miller Moss is going to have to connect with some moving targets, and we've got to find ways to run the ball, which is made even more difficult because, like you guys said, plagued with injuries, Duke Watson will not return.
Yeah, it's a mash unit in that running back room with Brown, Watson, Kewan Brown, who's not playing today. Colin Lacey getting some snaps. Risky, the tight end, picks up 6.
What's interesting, Roy, is even when Pitt isn't blitzing, Louisville's getting the ball out fast. So the game has changed, but the mentality has changed. The running backs being injured, they seem to have completely gone away from the run.
And Duke Watson back on the field, giving it everything he has. That was not anticipated. Isaiah Neal with the PBU at the line of scrimmage. Now it's 3rd and 14.
Yeah, and I don't like Watson being back out there, because even on that play, that was essentially like scan block to go and block one of the blitzing linebackers. He didn't have enough. So Miller Moss is going to have to understand that even with Watson in the game, he's not at 100%. So it'd be more difficult to try and block some of these downhill linebackers.
Very interesting to see Watson out there, guys. Head coach Jeff Brom told me he would not go. That right ankle is taped heavily.
Third and long across the middle, back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. Stacked up at the 40 is Jaleel Skinner. And remember, the Cardinals do have Nick Keller, their secondary place kicker, at their disposal. He had a 57-yarder a week ago. That's a school record, and this potential attempt coming at a similar distance. And from the center of the field.
One thing to keep an eye out for, Roy, is that Jeff Brom said that with Keller, he can kick it far, but the ball comes out low. So the flight pattern of that ball, if Pitt get their hands up, may be able to be blocked.
Play clock winding down, and to give Keller a chance.
Timeout. Louisville, they're first.
And there was some confusion at the line of scrimmage for Jeff Brom's team. The timeout called, he's unhappy. Keller does have the leg, and he hit a 57-yarder last week, a chance to make it a one-score game. Listen, this game has seen everything, especially with special teams today. Who knows with this long of a field goal drive?
Yeah, well, to your point, this is their long-range field goal kicker. Cooper Ranvier is a freshman, and he's going to get there, but he's not the guy for their long range. They've seen Keller make this kick before. The question that I still have is that flight pattern. That's one thing we did here. And Roy, you're a kicker. You kicked in high school. What do you do on kicks that are this long?
You're looking at where you make contact, and you're trying to drive it a little more because you know it's got to travel a longer distance. As a result, ball comes out flatter and lower, but you got to find a way to get it there to make it have a chance. So Keller's leg strength is off the charts. They feel like he's good all the way back to 65.
That was not an insult to say you're a kicker. We love kickers around here.
You don't love kickers, but I do. Here's Keller, redshirt junior. Didn't participate last year. 57-yarder on the way. Low line drive, and Keller connects from downtown. Nick Keller. And Louisville back within a score. Back-to-back weeks with 57-yard field goals. Absolutely true from old number 98.
Yeah, Nick Keller had a 57-yarder, and it may have been good from 58. The long-range field goal kicker with an outstanding low line.
Combine it all on the sandwich itself, Sam.
It looks outstanding. Got a chance to go to one of the Pittsburgh spots, Terrafino's, last night. Some great Italian.
Now Louisville responds, opening possession of the second half. How big was that completion on 3rd and 14 to that 5 yards to give Nick Keller this chance at the 57-yarder?
It was, but it was a very low-line drive, and Pittsburgh was in field goal safe. They were not in block. If they would have tried to put pressure up the middle, there's a chance with how low the trajectory of that kick was, it could have been tipped. So outstanding job by Nick Keller, but those are those adjustments that you do or don't make in situations like these.
For all of you kickers out there, it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. It's over the crossbar. It counts as 3. I don't care if it's beautiful or ugly. It's 3 on the board for the Cards, and the lead down to 7 with Eli Holstein back on the field. I do have to stand up for place kickers around the planet because these broadcast booths are unkind to us specialists.
I do like that. At first I was like, not how you drive, how you arrive. Where are we going with this? But then after a while, I'm starting to get the kicker vernacular.
Welcome to our club.
Y'all don't let people in y'all's club. Y'all always hang out by yourselves. Go to any practice, any game. Kickers always doing their own thing. Can y'all be a good teammate?
We don't want to participate in all of the hitting activities, right? We're there to kick. Holstein, across the middle. And a low delivery. Was it caught cleanly? Kenny Johnson went down to his knees, and they'll say no. Well, that's a big call there. Pass is incomplete, and it's 3rd down and long.
Yeah, well, check out Tayon Holloway, number 25. He gets his hand in there at the last second to keep that ball from being completed. So great coverage, tight coverage by Holloway. Not how you drive, how you arrive, not how you start, how you finish. Y'all stole it from us, right? He finished that play. Great job by Holloway.
It also counts in golf.
I know that. I thought you were making a golf reference, you know what I'm saying? Stealing references, I guess, of the kicker.
Third down. How entertaining has this game been? So many big plays in all facets of the game. Holstein escapes, but not for long. Brought down near the line of scrimmage. He probably lost a yard. Cleb Lubin, the Coastal Carolina transfer, and the Louisville lifer T.J. Quinn in a race to the quarterback.
Yeah, Cleb Lubin has been quiet in this game so far. Had a really clutch play early, but then second quarter was silent. He's at the really in dropping in coverage, and all of a sudden he's a linebacker. He's a pass rusher. He sees the quarterback. He's not going to miss. This is a continuation of somewhat of the sluggish second quarter that Pitt has had outside of that last drive that led to points.
Well, the fourth possession for the Panthers without a first down today. And that punt sailing out of bounds off the foot of Caleb Junko. So the Cardinals get it back, down 7. Good field position from their own 35 after this.
That makes me smile.
Me as well, and a great cause. And we support their efforts, especially tomorrow through Pittsburgh. Samacho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis, and here's Miller Moss off the back foot, crosses body in traffic, and nearly intercepted by Lovelace. The pressure came in from Jimmy Scott.
And that's what you want to avoid if you're Miller Moss. You've been making good decisions. You've been getting the ball to your receivers. But now all of a sudden you saw him getting the ball in harm's way like he did early in the game. Jimmy Scott, number 44, with the great pressure. But you don't want to throw it back across your body, especially with your feet not set. That's a bad decision by Miller Moss.
22 completions, over 200 yards, the touchdown and the pick 6. Transfer from SC. Moss wanted to go long, instead settles short. And Isaac Brown sidesteps out of bounds, a gain of 8. Kyle Lewis helped get him there.
You got another third and short situation. You haven't been able to run the ball. The quick game may not be as effective because Pitt's not pressuring as much. I mean, as much as we've seen them pressure, they've been playing a little bit more 4 down, 4 rushers. So maybe go back to number 0, Chris Bell. He's been a bell cow for you so far this game.
Over 100 yards receiving for Bell. And he's been targeted 14 times by Moss. Isaac Brown across the 45. That is a chain mover. 3-yard gain on 3rd and 2.
There it is. So haven't been able to run the ball, but when you need it, you get it. Isaac Brown, you can tell he's battling through injury, but gets just enough to get that first down. Still, Roy, no, we haven't seen any trick plays, haven't seen too many shots down the field for Louisville. Now would be a good time to give it a shot.
8 grabs, 116 yards, and the touchdown. He went over the century mark last year in this game back in Louisville. Game that was dominated by the Cardinals. Moss will try to buy as much time as he can. Defender at his feet. It'll be 2nd down. Lacey unable to corral it.
Yeah, Jimmy Scott again with that pressure. Great job trying to set the edge, but even though the quarterback got outside the pocket, Jimmy Scott just did whatever he could to affect him. You see him diving at the legs. That keeps the QB uncomfortable.
He has been uncomfortable good portion of the day. The Cardinals have been the hang-around team as a result. Their excellence in special teams. But we've seen flashes of Miller Moss too, and what he can do if given that extra half second. More pressure from the Panthers. Moss, the quick strike, and a first down. Twisting and turning is Antonio Meeks.
So now we're seeing a little bit of a different type of answer. The earlier answer to pressure were inside passes. Now they're going to the outside just a little bit more, but the pressure is still on Miller Moss. Even though the defense isn't always blitzing, he needs to keep the ball out of harm's way, because that's the one thing that can change the outcome of the game as it goes right now.
Duke Watson is playing football in the second half. We were told that he wouldn't. Wrapped up ankle and all. to the 40. Rasheem Biles stopped him. 2nd and 9.
And Biles, Lovelace, Lewis. Those are names we need to start hearing again if Pitt wants to take that momentum back. Louisville's been on the field a long time in the first half, even a good amount of time in the second half. Those 3 LBs have to make a play.
Sam, we've broken this game down from a number of different perspectives. The heat brought by the Pitt defense, Miller Moss adjusting. The eventual winner, it may come down to whoever commits the fewest number of penalties in a closely contested matchup like this. To the tight end. Risky, another grab. And a short gain makes it 3rd and long. Rashad Battle stopped him after a gain of just 2.
And they're taking out some of the tight ends. Louisville is. They're putting in some of their receivers. Lacey's coming back in the game. Isaac Brown, a running back, but who's quick, is back in the game as well. Pitt is looking at the sideline trying to see, okay, what is our play call going to be?
Moss solid on 3rd down so far. The 3 deep, 2 under, fire zone blitz. Pat Narduzzi, Randy Bates are known for. Will they do it here? Will settle back. Moss fires high and incomplete. And he had a man open in the middle of that zone in Antonio Meeks. And it appears as if Jeff Brom will elect to attempt another long field goal.
Yeah, that's one that you want to complete if you're Miller Moss. I understand there's pressure in your face, but a couple high balls so far. Got to get those a little bit lower. Great job by Pitt on defense.
Now from 57 yards moments ago and last week for Nick Keller. This one clearly in the wheelhouse at 56.
Yeah, and Pitt needs to learn from last time. You know the ball's going to come out low. You have the iPads. You got a chance to watch that. Bring pressure inside. Get your hands up.
Redshirt junior place kicker, Kentucky native, on the way, curving, and this time it is short. Sammy didn't hit it as cleanly as he did in that last attempt, and last week also from 57 against Bowling Green, and about 2 yards shy.
Yeah, Nick Keller made a 57-yarder. Now this is a 56-yarder, just a few yards short.
ACC championship here in Pittsburgh, 1-score game in the conference opener between Louisville and Pittsburgh. Sam Ochoa, Philpott, Taylor Davis. Eli Holstein straight ahead. Quarterback draw, a 2-yard gain. 2nd down. The injured Panther player down at the 35. Stephen City, Virginia native. Number 66 there. Just coming down awkwardly with Evans and his 2 legs on that right leg of Gouveia.
Gouveia, you mentioned a transfer from Richmond on the all-Polynesian team watch list for 2025. A really, really good football player.
And some concern as they try to stabilize Keith. His backup is Jackson Brown, transfer from Cal. Has experience, but not a lot of starts. An offensive line for head coach Pat Narduzzi. Injury timeout. We will step aside.
The Neil Pittsburgh program highlights the history, success, and goodwill of its businesses rooted in the Pittsburgh metro area. The athletics would like to recognize the 2025 Neil Pittsburgh corporate partners, Bowser Automotive, Giant Eagle.
Well, moments ago, Keith Gouveia, fifth-year senior, the transfer from Richmond. They stabilized that lower right leg. He was in some pain. His teammates come over, and he says, go win the game, as he is carted off the field. And as they pass by the Louisville huddle, he had some words for the Cardinals as he exited the playing surface. This game has been a bit chippy at times, and it's starting to get a little nastier. The crowd on its feet. And there you see, exchanging pleasantries would be one way to frame it. And now Ryan Coretta checks in at left guard, the backup center. Keith's uncle, Kurt Gouveia, longtime NFLer. He had a mean streak to him, and you wish nothing but the best for him. Meanwhile, it's 2nd down and 8 after the draw by Eli Holstein. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. 6:35 to go in our third quarter. What will happen next in this game? It's been back and forth. Holstein wants it all. Unloads deep and's got a man. Hits underneath it. First down and goal. 56 yards on the pitch and catch.
He transferred from Louisville, Blue Hicks did, because I didn't think he could win from the outside. 2 for 2, lining up on the outside and winning. I got a chance to see him on the field. He was calm, he was cool, he was collected, but you could tell he wanted just a little bit of get back.
Sam, you go back and look, his first 3 games in a Pittsburgh uniform, 7 catches, 2 touchdowns for 84 yards. Today, already over 100 with the score on 3 receptions. Holstein wants more. Floats it into the flats. Contested! And intercepted. Well, the Cards read that beautifully. Antonio Watts enters the chat.
Are you out your mind? Antonio Watts. What? How? So number one, the decision by Holstein, he thinks he's open, but he's not. Watts makes a one-handed grab that switches hands, middle of the air. This has been the ultimate game of swings. We talked about it earlier. How can Louisville get back in the game? Their defense would have to step up. We saw Blue Hicks make another outstanding catch, but the very next play, interception.
Ron English told us this week on Antonio Watts. He switched numbers in the offseason from 35 to 9. But all you need to know, that's a big man that can run. The coverage and the wherewithal to understand what was happening by the Pitt offense. Fullback back on the field in the offset eye. Isaac Brown dives ahead across the 5. Well, you and I wondered, when would that first mistake come from Eli Holstein? Miller Moss has made a couple today. Holstein probably wants that one back, but an incredible play by Watts.
But Louisville has to be able to capitalize on this mistake. Their offense has been stagnant essentially for the entirety of the game when it comes to scoring points. They've been moving the ball down the field, then they get sacked or have a penalty. Louisville has to find a way to capitalize on their defense's turnover.
Only 3 points scored in this second half between these two teams. Rasheem Biles and Nate Temple shot out of a cannon. Another TFL, now 6 on the board for this Pitt defense. 3rd and 7.
And how does Louisville do it? Number one, you hear the noise, you hear the crowd, you know the defense is dominant, but you have to go to your go-to guy, number 0, Chris Bell. You can see how excited and energetic the home team is, but Bell has got to be able to make a play one-on-one on Battle on the outside.
Bell lines up on the perimeter. Moss 5 yards deep in his own end zone. Crossing pattern, there it is. And the reception for the first down by Colin Lacey. 3rd and long, 15 on the completion.
Another 4-man rush, so Pitt isn't bringing pressure. So what do you see? You see time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Miller Moss has enough time in the pocket to set his feet and make a nice throw.
And sometimes that's all that's needed. Moss now over 250 yards through the air. We'll run an option play into the boundary with a crease and a big-time play by Duke Watson. Manufacturing rush yards hasn't been easy today for the Cardinals. Duke Watson, injured ankle and all, picks up 15.
Yeah, great adjustment by Jeff Brown. You get that speed option look. You get Temple in a bind. Didn't know what to do. Do I go inside? Do I go outside? Am I a quarterback player? Am I a running back player? Louisville had shown this a ton, and so they're putting the defense in a bind by giving them different looks that they haven't put on tape.
That's the longest run of the game by either team. Back to the well to Watson. Shoved out. After a gain of 1, maybe 2, Lovelace and Fitzsimmons. And Watson even trotting off the field with a bit of a limp. His counterpart, Isaac Brown, has struggled to find his rhythm today due to lower body injuries. Brown back on the field here, 2nd and 8.
And Roy, you wonder why not go to a different back? But these backs are explosive. Isaac Brown is a difference maker. That's why you keep him in.
The pump fake and the sack. Rasheem Biles. It didn't take long.
When you need a big play, you go to Rasheem Biles, and when you're on an injured running back, Isaac Brown, he fakes the inside. He's supposed to go back outside and get Biles, but maybe the injury is supposed to really, if you see a guy like that blitzing on the outside, you ignore the fake and go straight to block that outside edge defender.
Movement, contact on 3rd and 17. Who jumped first? Isaiah Neal was pretty quick. And once you see the contact, the flags are going to fly.
False start. Offense, number 53. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So that's Lance Robinson, who's an outside player, but I didn't see a false start unless he flinched. There, Robinson on the inside playing guard.
3rd and 22. Panthers showing pressure again. They'll bring 4. Colin Lacey. A conservative call. They'll get some of that lost yardage back. Now you go back to the interception, protecting the end zone from another Pitt touchdown. The Pittsburgh offense set to get back on the field much further away. And Moss was able to navigate his unit for at least 1 first down, buy some real estate.
Yeah, but that Pitt defense is continuing to step up in big-time moments. Rasheem Biles had the pick 6 in the first quarter. That changed the trajectory of the game. Now this sack, critical sack in the 3rd quarter, is helping change the trajectory of the game.
Pat Narduzzi went through the numbers with our crew yesterday and what Pittsburgh had done and not accomplished against Louisville in the past. And wanted more pressure on 1st and 2nd down. Today they've gotten it. Back to the studio. Here's Kevin Connors. Now what a game in Winston-Salem here within the ACC. Great matchup between Pitt and Louisville. And a touchdown affair with the Panthers protecting their home turf so far. Lucy Turner back on the field. Remember, Pittsburgh without Des Reed today. They're not healthy in the running back room. Turner! A nifty cut in traffic. Into plus territory, give him 14.
And that fake by Eli Holstein actually slowed down the inside linebacker, number 34. You see him go to the outside. Sometimes all you need is to steal their eyes for a moment.
Turner again. Panthers utilizing tempo. Hey, Sam, from your perspective, we saw Pittsburgh twice last. Narduzzi wished he could have played a week ago. It was that early season open date after the loss in Morgantown. They were chomping at the bit, ready to get off the practice fields and back here at Acrisure Stadium. Try to right the wrongs of that loss. Turner stopped short of the 35 by T.J. Quinn. And to start our 4th quarter, it's going to be 3rd down.
We talked about it last time we were calling the game, Roy. 3rd down being money down. This is an opportunity for Pitt or for Louisville, somebody to make a play. What do I mean? If you're Pitt, you've been outstanding all game long. Can you finish? For Louisville, you had a turnover last drive. Can you get another one?
Panthers have yet to convert on 3rd down today. 0 for 7. And yet still lead. Empty backfield for Eli Holstein. He wants to throw it, and he does. Deuce Spann. First catch, and I don't think so. Driven down to the 39, and it was Corey Gordon that got there first.
Yeah, Corey Gordon got there first, but number 9, Antonio Watts, he's the one that made that play. He's rushing, and instead of going upfield, he instead goes to try and make that tackle. So he didn't make the tackle specifically, but he allowed his friends to come help.
A loss of 2. And what do you do if you're Pat Narduzzi?
Kind of in no man's land. It's a little bit too far to kick a field goal. You don't necessarily want to punt, but if I'm them, I think punting is the better decision.
At that point, you're trying to make Miller Moss go the full length of the field to tie the game, and Pat Narduzzi wants to think this over. He's going to let that play clock wind down, call the timeout, and I tend to agree with you. It feels like the field position game.
Pitt, they're first, 30 seconds.
Could be the card to play here because Louisville, when it scored, it's been through the benefit, rather, of Pittsburgh miscues on special teams. You haven't really seen them go the full length of the field to reach the end zone.
Correct. And if you kick a field goal, it'll be about 56, 57 yards. You miss it, they get the ball right around the 40-yard line. So if I'm Pitt, I punt. If I'm Pitt, I punt because you know that Louisville's offense has not been able to score when they've been able to have these long drives. They've stalled out. The only points they really have are based off of gifts given by Pitt. So I understand you want to be aggressive and all those things, but I would say be smart, punt the football, and force Louisville to drive it all the way down the field.
Holstein is still out there, and the Panthers will go for it on 4th and 7. Three of 6 on the season on 4th down, 1 of 2 today. Ron English may want to dial up some pressure here on the Louisville side. He'll show it. Man-to-man coverage on the back end. Colorell went in motion. Time for Holstein. Into the flats. Bobbled and dropped. Boosie Turner had it. He had a long ways to run to reach the line to gain. And a turnover on downs for Pitt.
Correct. And even if Turner would have caught it, the linebackers on the inside are all sprinting to the football. You had 7 yards to go. This ball is thrown right at her behind the line of scrimmage. You have 2 guys who are tracking the football. So that's why I didn't like the decision, because even if it's a catch, it may not be a first down.
And if you're Pat Narduzzi, that's a moment where you clearly miss Des Reed.
Oh, absolutely. You missed Des Reed. I mean, the entire game. Not only that moment, but you have him in the whole game. Now all of a sudden you're on at 4th and 7. You're in 4th and 2 or 4th and 3 or 4th and 1 because of his explosiveness.
Cards get it back from their own 39. Moss sends it low to Watson, and lassoed still on his feet by Kyle Lewis. Rasheem Biles has made more of the big plays today for this Panthers defense. Lewis would like to be a part of that equation at some point.
Well, he's been consistent. You don't need to make all the big plays all the time. Kyle Lewis has been extremely consistent this game. He had a conversation with his coach last week. He said, "Coach, that was one of my worst games. I don't feel like I played well. It will not happen again." And it's not happening again. So you have the big splash plays by number 3, Rasheem Biles, but number 9, Kyle Lewis, is making the consistent plays across the board.
Back to the air for Moss, and a quick strike incomplete to Lacey. Sam, he didn't turn around yet to look for the football. It's going to be 3rd and 7.
Well, that was Biles again with the pressure on the inside. 3rd down, we talked about it. It's the important down. Pitt has not brought pressure on a lot of these 3rd downs, Roy, and it doesn't look like they're going to bring pressure again. Louisville, on the other hand, they need to be able to convert, even if it's something underneath and going for a 4th down. Different situation. You're down in this game. You can't afford to go for 4th.
Two on the play clock. Moss gets it cleanly, retreats, delivers, open is Lacey. 1st down, Louisville. Colin Lacey will drag Allen Bryant an additional 5 yards and a gain of 38 on 3rd and 7.
So Pitt hasn't brought pressure. Why? They brought a 3-man rush. They're trying to change up the look, but only 3 guys rushing for a team that's used to blitzing. The DBs aren't used to covering for this long, and that's why you see Colin Lacey get so wide open. I understand that you want to try and change up the looks, but your identity is a certain way. Pitt needs to keep on bringing that pressure.
Duke Watson stopped by Lovelace. And Dolik now, but Miller Moss has thrown for nearly 300 yards. And in moments, you see what he's capable of. And Sam, probably more of those moments coming later in the season, the more acclimated he is to this Jeff Brom offense.
It's the good and the bad. He's still learning the offense. That's why you're seeing some of the mistakes or the near mistakes, but also he's still learning the offense. So you're seeing some of these big splash plays. So as he continues to grow with Jeff Brom, it should be better as the season goes along.
Clean snap again, Moss. Comeback route. About a yard shy of the line to gain for Chris Bell. So Bell receives another target, his 9th catch. And now Moss over 300 yards passing for 3rd and short.
This is a situation, Roy, where on a couple of the 3rd and shorts, they've ran the ball, got a 1st down. On this 3rd and short, you're close enough to the end zone to run maybe a pop pass or something where it'll be over the defense's head.
Jeff Brom, a brilliant offensive mind. Did wonders at Purdue, and now back at his alma mater. 22 wins already. Moss kept it, delivered into the flats to the front pylon, and in for the touchdown, Jaleel Skinner. The transfer from Miami, the South Carolina native, waves to the Pittsburgh fans as he scampers into the end zone and an extra point away from being tied up once again.
And we heard from the coaching staff about Jaleel Skinner. They said he's got big-time ability. You're going to see him right there in your formation. Steps inside, gets outside, and watch Colin Lacey, number 5. He could hold, but he doesn't. That's a brilliant football play, right? You want to try and keep your guy from making the tackle, but instead just get your hands off and let Lacey do the rest.
Brian Brom, the offensive coordinator, told us Jaleel Skinner's been progressing nicely in practice, in preseason camp. How about the first touchdown of his Louisville career? And it comes in a magnificent moment. We're tied at 27 here in our fourth quarter in the Steel City. Afternoon, women's sports on ACCN and the all-new ESPN app. And you saw Olivia Babcock there, tremendous player. Pittsburgh again with a chance to be in that national championship conversation.
Yeah, she can jump out of the gym when they get her set up. I mean, you better buyer beware. Everybody else watch out. So we got a chance to see her on the field from up here, them celebrating Olivia Babcock.
Panthers get the football back after the touchback. Sam, it feels like Louisville has all the momentum in this game. If you're Eli Holstein and Cade Bell, what are you trying to dial up?
You activate Eli Holstein's legs early. Maybe not on first down, but second down and third down, activate his legs. That's the one thing that's had success early in this game.
Poppy Williams will shift. No Des Reed today for the Panthers. Pocket collapses and a sack. Holstein driven down. Renee Conga, number 90, with the rude introduction to the Pittsburgh quarterback.
So the entire line's going to slant to the left, and Conga's going to say, okay, nothing's in there. Let me use my club arm over and go back to the right. He's a consistent football player. You don't see a lot of flash, but the reason why the Louisville defense is able to be consistent is because guys like Conga make plays when they're needed.
And remember, Pittsburgh shuffling things around on that offensive line. Keith Gouveia, the starting left guard, was carted off the field earlier in this half. Ryan Coretta has stepped in his place. Holstein across the middle, intercepted. It was read perfectly by TJ Quinn. Sammy nearly had an interception earlier in this game. He was reading Holstein's eyes. And here come the Cards, this time with a big play on defense.
Well, here's the lesson for TJ Quinn. Don't throw it right at him. Throw it up in the air. Last time he threw it up in the air, he couldn't catch the ball. But this time, TJ Quinn, he's reading the quarterback the entire way, and he's ready for it. He had a drop at this very yard line after the ball got tipped, but instead, he's great in his coverage. Eli Holstein does not see him underneath, and now Quinn makes the play. We talked about when will Louisville get a turnover. Well, now there's 2 in the second half.
Game-changing plays by the Cards defensively. And Quinn, in his 5th year from Valdosta, Georgia, has played some at the will and the Mike linebacker positions this year. Brown with a burst, and Isaac Brown tripped up short of the 20. 9-yard gain on first down, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, but he had a little bit more on that cut, and he's ready to get into the end zone.
Yeah, he had a lot more. You can see the juice that's ready to be squeezed. He's not fully himself, but he's doing just enough to keep his team in the game.
Moss has thrown for over 300. And Brown will pick up the first down on second and short. Well, they haven't secured a lot of rush yards today, only 43. Brown's banged up. We've gone through the laundry list in the running back room. Holstein's back on the drawing board trying to figure things out. Who wants to win this game? The lid lifter in the ACC. Cards showing some grit, a little moxie on the road. And Brown, not this time. Rasheem Biles. Boy, Biles has a bright future. I would argue at the next level with what we've seen from him. His ball skills and his ability to sniff out what the offense is doing.
Yeah, these Pitt linebackers are special. Watch him just avoid number 74. That's football. Like on paper, he's supposed to be blocked. This game isn't played on paper, it's played on grass, and Rasheem Biles shines on the green grass.
It's another TFL loss of 2. 2nd and 12, Moss. Found a crease to Chris Bell. Bell powers his way ahead. That's going to be enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal.
Chris Bell is 6'2", he's 220, so he's a big receiver with really good ball skills. And notice he's going to sit down right in the soft spot of the zone and use his size to get the first down. He could have fell down and been a yard short, but instead he leans forward, he's hard to tackle, and gets the first down.
Miller Moss has now thrown for 330 yards. Bell has 10 catches. On 1st and goal, they'll feed Isaac Brown. In a tie ball game, Jeff Brom's team has not led thus far. They've trailed by as many as 17. Duke Watson checks back in. Well, the post-game interviews for number 26 and for number 1. The Louisville Cardinals today will be interesting. On a wing and a prayer. Moss feels the pressure off the back legs, got a tight end in the back corner, and it's caught for the touchdown. Koriski gives Louisville its first lead of the day.
The talent is there. You're going to see Miller Moss see the pressure, avoid the pressure. You know he's going to take a hit, and he's able to layer that ball over the outstretched defender. Miller Moss has skill. It's just when he learns this offense, it's going to go to a new level.
First touchdown of the season for Nate Koriski. Miller Moss. His 3rd touchdown pass of the game. And now for the 2nd time in this game, Louisville has run off 17 unanswered.
And Miller Moss is finally getting his swagger back. Takes the hit, finds Koriski in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Louisville.
Long time. Back here in Pittsburgh, Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. Louisville has the lead for the first time in this game after a series of Pittsburgh miscues. The ensuing kickoff to Blue Hicks. He's looking for the convoy. Still on his feet. And ahead to the 27. Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Prudential. I just mentioned it, Sam. It feels like any of these teams. .6:53 to go. Here comes Eli Holstein. There comes the pressure. And the handoff to Goff. The late flag comes in way back at the 27.
Holding. Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And Sam, we had a new quarterback there in Cole Gonzalez who snuck on the field, the Oklahoma transfer. So Gonzalez, who started his career at Western Carolina, cup of coffee in Norman, and a Florida native. Cade Bell told us he's got plenty of confidence in Cole, and the offense wouldn't miss a beat with him in the fold, and Holstein appears to be okay with the helmet off.
Yeah, those are just, I mean, it's bad decisions by Holstein, leads to a change of quarterback. So Cole Gonzalez is now in.
Thomas in motion. Holstein, the 2 second-half interceptions. And Gonzalez goes underneath. A stutter step, a nice maneuver back to the original line of scrimmage. Malachi Thomas, a gain of 11.
Cole Gonzalez is a senior, and yesterday we asked Cade Bell if something happened to Eli Holstein, who would go in the game? And he mentioned he has a lot of trust and confidence in the consistency of Cole Gonzalez. 6 feet, 200 pounds. Opportunity.
2nd down and 9. You go back to his career in the Southern Conference at Western Carolina in Cullowhee. He had one game where he threw for over 600 yards, so he's not shy to get it down the field. Caleb Perry, a tackle on Goff. Now don't forget, moments away from LSU and Ole Miss, the Grove, the place to be on this Saturday afternoon. And Rebels, slight favorite coming in against Garrett Nussmeier and company. Trinidad Chambliss has taken over the SEC, the backup quarterback replacing the injured Austin Simmons. What will that game have in store? Pittsburgh, meanwhile, 0 for 8 on third down. First try for Gonzalez. And he'll float one before the receiver made the cut. And it's grabbed by Poppy Williams.
Not only before the receiver made the cut, but while facing pressure in his face. Great rush by Wesley Bailey, number 23. Cole Gonzalez sat in the pocket, accepted the pressure. Perfect pass.
Sam, it wasn't the tightest of spirals, but it got there. Gonzalez again absorbs the hit into plus territory. So a couple of fearless tosses by the backup quarterback. Blue Hicks moves the football into Louisville territory, and here comes a spark for Pitt.
And to your point, Cole Gonzalez was at Western Carolina. He has experience with Cade Bell. They were together there. So there's a level of understanding in this exact offense that Cade Bell brought over last year.
Taylor Davis, I have to imagine the mood on the Pitt sideline with Gonzalez making those throws has to have improved.
Definitely. It was difficult there for a little bit. Keep in mind, they had a 10-point lead heading into the fourth against West Virginia, lost in overtime. You felt the nerves creep in a little bit. They've settled down now.
Goff straight ahead on second down. And the Western Carolina connection. Cade Bell, the offensive play caller, arriving here in Pittsburgh last season. He brings ultimately his quarterback with him in Cole Gonzalez. After a year later, Des Reed, of course, and Poppy Williams from the SoCon to the ACC, and it's worked out quite well, but now it's 3rd and 6.
And the challenge with the new quarterback, Roy, is that all week long you've been game planning for Holstein. Now all of a sudden you have a guy who you haven't seen a lot of, so it's the challenging part for a backup quarterback when you're a defense facing backup quarterback.
Johnson went in motion. Gonzalez escapes ahead, and he's going to lose a yard. So now it's going to be 4th down and long. Pitt has 2 timeouts remaining. And what do you do if you're Pat Narduzzi?
You got to go for it for sure, based off of the time left in the game. But the question is, how do you go for it? I don't like punting in this situation. Look like they're bringing on. Listen to the fans. They think how I think. They're booing like me. The reason I don't like it, Roy, is that Louisville has been extremely effective in this 4th quarter offensively. You haven't been able to stop them. You have 2 timeouts in the 2-minute timeout, but I don't like getting the ball back in Miller Moss's hands.
And they're going to think about it, but that is a costly timeout to use.
Pitt, they're second, 30 seconds.
Sam, you also have to consider your backup quarterback's on the field for the first time in this game. How does that change things for 4th and 7? But this game for Pittsburgh has been all about the miscues, and it started early with the Pitt special teams. That has been the big difference between these 2 teams.
Correct. It's a special teams error, number 1. Another special teams error where they recovered it. That's the second part. A drop punt, a 3rd special teams error, right? So just mistake after mistake after mistake. And then 2 interceptions in the second half. Yes, outstanding play, but bad decisions by Eli Holstein. So you're looking at this game and say, okay, how is Louisville winning? Well, that package you saw is the reason.
And the offense is back on the field. Mathematically, you start to run out of time if you punt the football. Pat Narduzzi realized that. It took a little extra time to get there. Eli Holstein on the sidelines. Cole Gonzalez on the field for 4th and 7. Cards are showing pressure. Here comes the house. Gonzalez didn't sense it. Lost the football on 4th down. The Cards get it back. TJ Quinn. Big plays galore in this second half for number 34 for the Louisville Cardinals.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass. First down.
Well, Roy, it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. TJ Quinn dropped the interception early in the game. Now we just got a pick and got a quarterback hit, changing the outcome of this game. That's why you have to have a short-term memory, not only as a football player, as a human. People make mistakes, nobody's perfect, but you can't let one mistake beat you twice. Outstanding job by number 34, TJ Quinn, on making the play when it matters the most.
Pittsburgh has 1 timeout left. The 2-minute timeout as well is coming up. Louisville's looking for that elusive first down to try to put this one on ice. Watson over the right edge. Amazing how much quicker Duke Watson and Isaac Brown look after establishing that lead and sensing momentum turning in this game.
There's this adrenaline is real, right? I understand that you're injured and you're fighting through, so I have so much respect for Watson, so much respect for Brown. But now that you feel yourself winning, you have this new sense of adrenaline that you have to get your team
Please
over the
reset
hump.
the game clock to 2:42 and the play clock to 40 seconds. Both will start on my signal.
Louisville will have to snap the football one more time before the 2-minute timeout. And the play clock about 2 seconds in front of the game clock. 2nd down and 5.
Here's where you start playing chess versus checkers. You can have an opportunity to pass the ball now because the amount of time left, the clock's going to stop regardless. The question is, Miller Moss has put the ball in harm's way a few times, so it's a risk that you may be willing to take.
Cards have not been dynamic on the ground today. Just 1.6 yards per rush. Do it again here with Watson. Watson escapes. Watson picks up the first down. That brings us to the 2-minute timeout.
That is the 2-minute timeout.
As we step aside in Pittsburgh, Louisville on the verge of completing the comeback. After this. Kevin, thank you very much. Back here in Pittsburgh, and the mathematics suggest that nearly a virtual certainty the Cards are going to rock out of the Steel City with a win. Duke Watson, just one timeout remaining, tripped up by Braylon Lovelace. And Braylon brings him down. And don't forget, this week we have 2 Monday Night Football matchups for you at 8. We'll snap it with 3 on the play clock. Watson again. Zielinski with the tackle, and the Panthers will use their final timeout here.
Timeout. Pitt, their 3rd and final. Please reset the game clock to 1:12. 1:12.
To clean up if they want to find ways to win the next 2.
Miller Moss in the second half has been brilliant. 15 of 20, $169 and the 2 touchdowns. Did a better job protecting the football late compared to Eli Holstein, who was benched on the last Pitt possession. And now the Cardinals will call a timeout.
Timeout. Louisville, their 2nd. 30 seconds.
But guys, it feels like this game is going to be an important one for Miller Moss. Down here on the sideline, kind of watching how he's operated throughout the game, you really kind of saw the evolution of him. He was very quiet, very reserved, really 3 quarters into the game. And the 4th quarter, he really found his voice. You saw his energy go up. You saw his confidence go up. And Sam, you know, you mentioned it earlier, and it's something Miller spoke with me about this week, the learning curve that's been associated with this offense. He told me even calling the entirety of the play in the huddle isn't something I've done before. So there's been a transition and an adjustment for him, but you kind of see it come into play a little bit more this game.
Yeah, Taylor, you're making such a phenomenal point. The reason why is that he's been asked to do a lot. And when you're asked to do a lot, it may slow down the way that you process. Yes, he graduated from USC in 2 years. He's working on his master's right now, but there's so much information. You got to find out what works for you. So it seems as if the game is starting to slow down for Miller Moss, but specifically on this play, you call timeout. Why? To tell those running backs 2 hands on the football if you touch it.
Panthers out of timeouts. Isaac Brown with a touch, dragged down from behind at the 35 by Braylon Lovelace, and so now Pittsburgh, see that clock wind under a minute. And they will have to snap the football with approximately 25 to 26 seconds remaining on 4th and 11. So do you think about punting? Do you think about the field goal? Do you go for it? Obviously, one way or another, Pittsburgh would not have a long time to have to go the length of the field.
Yeah, I like the field goal here. As weird and crazy as it sounds, let the clock wind down and trust your field goal kickers. Cooper Ranvier has been outstanding, hasn't missed all season long. I get he's a freshman, but I trust him in a 52-yard field goal.
Well, it would be an attempt from over 50 yards, which means it would be the 3rd appearance for Nick Keller.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down. Please reset the game clock to 25 seconds.
And so as we indicated, about 25 seconds to work with, and you figure the punt will be in play here.
Correct. So they did not call a timeout. Instead, they took the delay to get more yardage for a pooch punt. Try and get the defense.
The 10-second runoff. The clock will start on the snap.
Try and get the Pitt offense backed up. Now, the one lesson for Pitt, the special teams, is if the ball's punted, let the ball roll. Let the ref down it. Don't try to down it at the 5-yard line, 7-yard line, because at this point, time matters more than anything. So proper execution is punting the ball. They don't have any returner back. It looks like they're taking a returner back right now, Kenny Johnson. But if Kenny does not catch it, let as much time milk off the clock as you can.
David Chapeau, veteran punter out of Athens, Georgia, towards the sideline. Very well executed. Panthers will have to go 95 yards in 18 seconds without a timeout. Have a chance to try to tie it and force overtime with a backup quarterback.
This is where not necessarily legends are made, but starting careers could be made for a guy like Gonzalez. Also, this is where defenses love to step up. Practice situations like this all the time. No timeouts, under 20 seconds left, protecting the sideline, no big plays, situational football.
A lot of conversation in the Pittsburgh area this week with Eli Holstein getting benched late. Panthers blowing a 17-point lead. Gonzalez able to collect himself, throw it into traffic, nearly intercepted. But a game that Pittsburgh had every opportunity to create even more separation than that 17-point advantage. The turnovers, the special teams problems against West Virginia was the 14 penalties. Remember, they bounced back after Louisville tied it at 17 to establish a 10-point lead at halftime. And again, back-to-back games, double-digit advantage gets erased.
Self-inflicted wounds. They've not put the teams away when they've been in the lead.
Trailing by a touchdown, Gonzalez unloads again, intercepted.
Guess
now
who?
the 5 turnovers and the second pick by TJ Quinn. Can you say hello to the ACC Defensive Player of the Week next week?
I love this play by TJ Quinn because it's just a macrocosm of the game. He had some mistakes early, but then he found a way to finish. Cole Gonzalez is in the pocket. He's going to step up, and TJ Quinn just gets so much depth. He's about 20 yards downfield. That's great depth by Quinn, but a great job finishing, even though he had that drop early in the game.
5 turnovers for the Pitt Panthers. All smiles on the Louisville sideline. 3 interceptions today, 2 by TJ Quinn. And on the road in the Steel City, the comeback is complete. 34-27 the final score. The Louisville Cardinals remain undefeated in 2025.